Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. World Cup edition.
Oh, yeah.
2014.
You can see by the football theme.
We should have gone to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil for next week.
Let's do that.
Let's be doing it remotely.
Did you bring your Vuvuzela from South Africa?
They banned those.
Vuvuzela.
They are banned in
What
Brazil.
year was that? Was that 4 years ago or 2 years ago?
Yeah,
that was the last World Cup.
That was a pain in the anus, that was.
I liked it.
It was. How was it a pain in the ass for you?
You could hear, it's all you could hear when you're watching the game.
It added,
I could see saying it's annoying. I can't.
it added a
understand
nice
saying-
atmosphere to it. Like,
What is a pain in the ass?
it's like a
mean to you?
brand.
Like you have to go out of your way to deal with something.
That's a really specific definition of pain in the ass.
Depends how often you deal with your ass pain.
Frequently, all the time. Did you see me last week or 2 weeks ago? I was sick. I almost didn't make it.
How was last week? I wasn't here.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. Last week was good.
Was it good?
Yeah, we had a good time.
I wasn't on.
What were you doing? Oh, you were at E3.
I was at E3.
How'd that go?
I was in Los Angeles. Well, I suppose
I could tell you got the fucking LA stink
Yeah.
on you. Look at this, the tie and the pink
Are you
shirt.
drunk?
You look like me when I showed up here.
What?
You look drunk as hell. No, what's with your swampy hair? It's all like...
You do have drunk Burnie hair.
Yeah,
It
you
is
do.
No, what happened was I wore a hat all day, and I didn't want to wear a hat when I come on here. Hold on, let me see if I can fix.
No,
It's all better.
that is not any better.
I was on the IGN podcast, and I was gonna wear this, what I'm wearing now, in honor of Greg. And sure enough, I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because he wore black and pink, like a black shirt and a pink tie.
Wow.
That'd have been really fucking funny.
Yeah.
But no, that was fun. It was a good time. I assume we'll be talking about E3 the patch a lot this week, but it was fun.
What else were you going to do but didn't?
Yeah, tell us more.
He asked me why the fuck I'm wearing this, Gavin. That's why I told that
doesn't
story.
explain why
Because you're going to wear it on another show?
I was this close to wearing a red shirt today. This close.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
How awkward would that have been?
Really bad.
People would have been talking about it for weeks.
Nice
You're
hat.
wearing that shirt?
Yeah, I am.
Say it, Gavin.
I said that, didn't I? I didn't remember saying it like that. But
It's all the brain, anyway.
What was that
Yeah,
from?
thank
What
you.
was our
Thank you,
discussion about
Gus.
that?
I think it was talking
it
about.
was probably around the senses conversation because
That's exactly.
it came down to the
shit.
fact that it's just the brain.
Now we're bringing
but you
Tell
also
us more
talked
about
about
senses,
it.
Bernie.
You also talked about it when, like, we were talking about illnesses and how if you're getting sick, just stop.
Or also in the brain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, also in the brain.
Yeah.
That you can
Just
overcome
don't do
that.
it.
Did you just prove my point? The shirt is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
It can be applied in a variety of situations. Gus is wearing a shirt, by the way. Nobody's fucking explained it. So Gus is wearing a shirt that says "It's all the brain anyway,"
And it's got a picture of a brain.
which Gavin does not like because he thinks it looks like intestines.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just say it looks like my small intestine. It looks very...
Specifically yours.
Well, I mean, I imagine that's what it looks like.
Gary?
What?
You know, he's wondering when people go through surgery and they get all their guts taken out. Like,
They don't get them taken out, though, do they?
Yeah.
I mean, like removed.
A
No, I mean, if you get
no, I mean taken out like on a nice date. I mean, why do you always not understand the words I say? Every time you ask me that, it's like taking the guts out. What do you mean, like removed?
There's taken out and there's removed. There's two different things. Like
They took it out and then put it back in?
Like
Yeah,
when they remove them for a moment, like they
if,
don't.
If they do surgery on the back of someone's eye, they'll pull your eye out, but they'll put it back. They're not going to remove the eye, though.
They pull your wait a minute. They
What?
pull your eye out and they put it back.
From the back of your
eyes-
Here's what I'm
the
talking
eyes
about.
just sit on the cheeks, like looking down.
I like to imagine there's a specialized tool for that, like a little, like it's almost like this bottle opener. This is like a little wedge, like a little pry bar. You get in there, like it makes a noise, like yep, that's the. There's like a
for the
dude who's
eyes.
like, I live for that sound.
Well, how else do you operate on the back of an eye? Through the back of the head?
You
You're
actually go.
ridiculous.
They go through the eye. They go through. I'm not kidding. They go through the eye. They just said the move they did too, through the eye. They. I know a guy who.
Well, all the eye goo will spill out.
We know a guy who had
You can replace
like scar tissue on the inside of his eyes. Guy we used to work with, Gus, and he talked about. And I got reminded of this when there's a scene in Dead Space 2 where they drill into your eye and you have to hold perfectly still to do it. And he said that they don't. They're putting up horrible images on our screen.
awesome.
They drilled into the guy's eye, and he said that seemed like it would be bad.
Get it off!
Get it off! They got a preview image up.
Gavin, that looks like
oh,
your
you
eye.
broadcasting that? What's wrong with you people? Fucking maniacs.
It's gone. It's gone. Oh no, it's on
No,
the TV
it's on
still.
the other one.
off!
Well, okay, they went through what?
That reminds
So-
me of Clockwork Orange.
They put a needle into his eye, and
gone.
like somehow a needle that can make a 90-degree bend. Which I know they have oil drills that can do that, so I'm assuming maybe they had a needle that can do that.
Yeah, same technology.
And they did whatever they were going to do. They were going to do the thing, and they got the bit on the side of his eye all scraped off. It was like scar tissue or something like that. And he said he thought that would have been as bad as it was. He said actually the worst part was when they drew the needle out of his eye, and it like reached that surface tension point, and his eye like held on to it.
Ooh,
and
like
went,
a little...
it went and it came when it came out. He could both feel it and hear it when it came out.
You could hear it.
Like that, like I think more like sense it
Oh,
with
like
your
in the
sense of
body?
eye.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could feel
Have you
it.
ever
Like
heard
it's
your
snapping
eye?
back. Ugh.
You know,
Do you ever hear your eye in a really quiet room?
never,
I
ever,
blink
ever.
very loudly.
What do you
hear
mean, hear my eye?
I've heard my eye before.
What does it do?
Like on a really
Gavin.
quiet.
Okay.
Let's look at stuff.
Here's what we're seeing right now. Over there's a chair. Don't hit that. Then when there's the computer, you like that. Let's go look at that.
Boobs. Yay.
What does your eye sound like?
Like if it's a really quiet morning and I've kind of just I'm just like opening my eyes. Sometimes it's just like it'd be like, you know, like
No, I don't know.
So it's the eye open. It's not
It's
like,
like
I thought you meant like your eyes moving. It goes whoosh whoosh.
no.
As it moves
Oh my god,
around.
do you hear that?
I don't. I hear myself like my eyelids.
Can you imagine how
make
loud a game of
squishy
tennis
sound.
would be?
Bonk bonk bonk.
What if that was like? What if everyone's eyes made noise? They would make movies really differently. Like you know how you look left and right when people are talking on screen, they put them across from each other. A whole room full of people going. The worst thing
All right,
ever.
we should have someone redo the sound of just one random RT short, and every eye movement should have a squelch.
I love it. I love it. When we did the early podcasts, and I can't even tell you which one it was. I was mortified when I would listen to it, and I was a little bit heavier then. And then Gus would be talking about something. You hear me going. Just like breathing.
So that was a lot of the podcast editing back in the early days, was removing audio tracks when people weren't talking. It's like if someone wasn't talking, I didn't want to hear it because sometimes it's just like gross stuff. It's just like, I know they're not talking here, cut. They start talking here, cut. Get rid of all that.
That's
Silence.
I do that a lot with Let's Plays, like people coughing and sniffing and stuff. Jack's notoriously bad for like beard scratching and breathing and all that.
Yeah, I just did I don't know if you call it a Let's Play, but I did a video with my kids. And it was just audio editing was a nightmare because like you talk to them and then they would go like this, like Gus, if you're talking to me, ask a question, they go, yeah, so I did this thing. I was like, no, on the mic, and they go on the mic, and they're like constantly moving their chairs and everything. It's just like you don't realize like all the little things you pick up about.
People get mad when someone on a Let's Play has food in their mouth
They get mad on the podcast too
because
Patch
it's
is the worst.
unprofessional. What part of any Let's Play we made is professional? It's the same
Get
on
the food out of your mouth. You're gonna hear your dick jokes.
I did a slow-mo guys once where I had gum in my mouth, and they're like, "Don't chew gum while you're hosting a video." So the next one, I had like a whole pack of gum in my mouth. It was completely inaudible.
I like that tends to be the reaction for constructive criticism. Is one person say, "Hey, don't chew gum," and you're like, "Well, I'm gonna make this worse for everybody who watches my videos."
Also, don't tell me how to make my own video. How about that?
That's also
I'm
works.
putting it online, and then you watch it if you want.
Well, fucking
Dang, okay.
served by Gavin
Yeah.
Free.
Well, that's how YouTube works. You don't tell us what to make.
Yeah, but do you read the comments?
I read the comments like straight after I've uploaded it
Okay.
to
I
see
do
if the
that too.
audio is missing or something. It's like technical. It's like if everyone's like, "Oh, it stopped at 2 minutes," then I'll be like, "Ah." But if everyone's
your
like,
voice
"Great,"
for everybody. No.
if someone's like, "Great video," I'll be like, "Yeah." Comments are comments are
Great video. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I know. What? Of course.
I've learned
It's a
at this
Gavin Free
point,
video.
Don't tell me anything. My video's great.
comments are a waste of time.
I disagree. I know a lot of people think that, but I disagree.
For my videos, are a damn waste of time.
I think 20% of the comments are a waste of time, and those 20% will override everything else.
Yeah, you can't let the negative comments.
I don't even say negative, just like this, even some of the positive stuff is fucking garbage. But, it's just, there really is. Maybe it's not 20%. Maybe it's 30, 40, 50%.
Why are comments
80%.
good? Why are comments good on YouTube? Like everyone says like and comment. I don't want you to comment. Like, could I say don't comment?
You can
You
disable
can
your
disable
comments.
comments.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do
Just
that.
do that.
Why
Well,
not?
Because people like to, argue at each other, don't they, in the comments?
Yeah.
I'll let them do that. I just don't have to read it.
You'll let them do that. King Gavin is beneficial or benevolent to his subjects.
Well, I understand
Go
what he's
ahead,
saying. It's
squabble.
his channel. He can do whatever he wants on his own channel.
Yeah, but he just said he doesn't like comments. He doesn't see the point in them, but he won't disable them.
Disabling comments.
It makes the video. It makes people not want to watch the video. If I see a video with all the comments disabled, I think it's like a fake or it's a shock video or something.
Yeah.
I won't watch it.
I used to, yeah, I don't know. I used to just now I'll just remove garbage comments now. And
On
I
YouTube?
will remove comments. Usually what I do is I spend the first hour after I put a video up, I'll spend time in the comments. And it's like, if someone makes just a garbage comment, I just get rid of it. I just all the first and all that stuff, I just get rid of it, I used to let it sit there for so I get more comments, but I don't care about that.
Yeah.
And then somebody makes a comment, I reply to it, and
But why is
have an actual discussion.
why is getting
Tara's really loud.
She's like in the room with
why
us.
is getting rid of garbage comments worth your time?
No, because I'm in the comments anyway.
I think he wants to try to foster positive comments and like actual discussion about the video.
I think if you actually get
legitimate comments, not bullshit throwaway.
like this video I
stupid
posted
ones.
last night. And for Father's Day, I sat down with JD and Teddy, my sons, and we played Star Control 2, Gus.
Nice.
And so I showed him Star Control 2 and talked about why I liked that game so much as a kid. So it was like a little bit of a brief introduction, then we did like a let's play. It's like, here's why the game is interesting, and the kids just want to play the game, so it's like, go ahead, let's play the game. We played the game. And so I just sat in the comments. I sat in the comments for the first hour because my kids were in it, mainly because I thought this would be a video that I might disable the comments on.
Yeah.
Because my kids are savvy
a
enough
little
that they'll
risky.
go back and watch it, look and read the comments. And so that one in particular, I sat in there for a little bit longer than I normally would, like just removing comments. But I found that I was removing comments that were not just like, negative, like, but I would also just remove like,
kids. Ugh.
yeah, I would remove like ones that were just like, what'd you take the time to post this? It was just
Yeah.
like,
Do they have their own YouTube account?
yeah, JD
Is there a
does.
way for you to disable their ability to see comments?
I have no idea. I could ban them from the channel, I guess, but I don't think they log in to watch
don't
their
deserve
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Explain that at the dinner table. I banned you from my YouTube channel.
Or
Chump.
it's better if the kid notices it, like, Dad, that's something I want to talk to you about. You banned me from your YouTube channel. It's awkward. Gus is not about awkward situations.
Yeah, I bet. I banned Gus, by the way.
I liked that video. I thought it was really really cool to see you and your kids playing a game. I liked how you were explaining the plot of it, and you're like, yeah, this is really like a game that like I was really into when I was younger. And you explained the plot, and JD goes, fucking cliche.
Yeah. You heard about like how in Star Control 2 there's a
Did he say it like that?
Yeah. He didn't say fucking cliche. But he was real like
That'd be badass if he had.
he was like, well, that's a cliche. Like
Yeah.
he was like real like
That's never
dismissive
been
about
done
it.
before.
And Teddy doesn't give a shit about anything, so he was just like
He was looking for some alien to destroy.
exactly right. He was in it for the pure mayhem.
Um,
But it was Star Control 2, and it was like the ancient civilization that was technologically advanced that somehow disappeared one day and left behind a legacy of mystery and advanced technology. So that's like in every sci-fi game ever since.
Four in a story.
Yeah.
yeah. Did
Mass
you
Effect.
Did you hear that story here in Austin last week that Chinese food market, this Chinese supermarket up in North Austin, got fined by the health department because they were selling pizzle for human consumption.
What is pizzle?
Yeah, what?
Cow dick.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Don't eat that pizzle.
It was denoted. It was designated not for human consumption. It was to be used as like a dog toys. And the
gross.
supermarket took it out of its packaging, then repackaged it and sold it to people as human grade meat.
Pizzle? So what's your problem with that?
Ugh.
It was not.
This is a really
Wow.
gross
Look,
picture.
I ain't got a problem with if you want to eat some cow dick, but if
Make
it's
sure-
not fit for human
Right,
consumption,
it's labeled specifically not fit for
Yeah.
human
What is
consumption.
the story there really that it's cow dick? Like when you hear that people are eating cow dick, does that bother you on like
It
a
bothers me, but
anatomical level?
yeah, but
Doesn't
there
bother me
is
at all.
I find
fit
it
for human
weird that-
consumption cow dick versus not fit for human consumption cow dick.
For
you
shizzle.
gotta be aware of the cow dick that's going in
Who
your
needs
mouth.
that level of judgment in your life? It's like you're dead and your dick isn't even fit for human consumption. I mean, what's the distinction?
It's the same thing. I mean, what's the difference? It's the difference between Alpo and a fucking steak.
We keep saying cow dick, but that's like an oxymoron, isn't it? It should be bull
Yeah,
dick.
Bull dick.
By the way,
I didn't even think of that.
that was an impressive shot right there. That was that guy was a shower, not a grower. So I'm impressed by that.
What's
But I
Alpo?
think they only it's
Alpo's
dog food.
Oh.
And I think they only got fined like $5,000.
What's the generic term for dog food? That's a popular brand name of dog food in the U.S.
Pedigree?
What would you say if you have like a throwaway name for dog food? Like kibble?
Kibbles and bits.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the British guy.
I don't know.
Oh, I
fucking
I've
shut
never had
down.
a dog.
You never had a dog?
No.
Just called dog food?
Dog food, yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Okay,
cats?
Fair play.
You got a cat?
Cat food.
All right.
Yeah, he's getting a
Cool.
cat. He's got a dog now, and he's getting a cat. He's excited about it.
Yeah, my life's just filling up.
It happens. Here we go. Here we
The
go.
weight of your life is like evident.
So
It's like weighing you down. I can see it.
I'm gonna get a kitten. I
You
wanted to call it Bob Hoskins because he died like right when we decided to get a kitten. But now I think I'll call it Smee.
Call him Robert.
Why Robert?
Because for Bob. Just call him Robert.
Call him Robert.
Call him
Smee? What's Smee?
bog salad.
It's just a Bob Hoskins character, wasn't it?
Oh, never
In
mind.
Hook.
There you go. You got it.
Or Eddie Valiant That'd be a good name for a cat.
Eddie Valiant would be one.
Valiant, yeah.
Bog salad.
Bog salad's pretty
That's
good.
the name of the.
If you
the
named
old
your cat Eddie Valiant, I would call him Evie. That just seems like a good
I'm okay
abbreviation.
with that.
What's that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Maybe Eddie Valiant's the way to go.
You know, you've renamed every animal you've ever come in contact with except for Joe the cat.
Joey's untouchable.
Don't call him Joe. Call him Joe the cat.
That's not his name.
Would you rename Eddie Valiant? Like if you named your cat Eddie Valiant, would you then immediately give it a
No, I
different
only
name?
rename stuff that I don't like.
Joe the
Okay.
cat is a rotten flea bag now. That cat, he's
I
just
saw him last night.
he's a
Yeah,
misery.
I picked him up.
And I told you, the cat's covered in fleas. Watch out.
Oh, you mean literally he is a flea bag.
He's a flea bag, dude.
As opposed to what?
No, like you could say like a flea bag, like a dirt bag or a scumbag. Just like,
Oh.
Yeah, or just
Well,
like
he's
a
not
ratty,
literally
like a
a
ratty
flea
old
bag.
cat, which he is a ratty old cat now. But he's happy as can be because he's an indoor-outdoor cat. And where I live in Austin, I swear the ecology of where I live in Austin is entirely different than anywhere else I've lived in Austin over the last 20 years. Like when we were watching you guys came over for Game of Thrones last night. Gus didn't come again.
yeah, why would I do that?
Why wouldn't you come? Actually, you would have been miserable last night.
Yeah, you know
because
as much.
I'm
There was a
about
problem.
95% certain that Miles unplugged the DVR before the show finished taping and brought it out because it's Miles'
Oh, it
job.
went long.
It did go long.
Yeah.
And he wasn't
Oh, is that
prepared for
why it skipped
I'm
to
pretty,
ads?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure.
It was
Because
like-
no one else in Austin experienced that.
Yeah, I thought I would go on Twitter and see everyone like talking about it. I was like, nope, must
It
have
was
just
a
been us.
pivotal moment in
I
the show.
saved
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, though, because I
It
had
was-
taped the other showing of it.
And then it cut to some ad where a woman was yelling in the street. It was kind of fitting, actually.
It was that
Yeah.
HBO show, the Missing-
Leftovers?
The Leftovers, yeah.
It's about a lasagna casserole in the refrigerator.
It's the day after Thanksgiving.
The unwanted chill.
Are you going to watch that?
I think I'll watch it just because I like the music they chose for the trailers.
Yeah, you're an idiot. I mean, no
It's
offense.
didn't Damon Lindelof write it? You guys like that shit?
We ever get a TV show?
Hey, I'm an idiot.
Oh, sorry.
Don't take offense. Come on, just
I won't, you
remove my
moron.
comment. The
I watched him physically shrug that off.
what did he say? What happened? What did he say? I missed it.
No, go ahead. What?
Okay.
Moron.
If we ever have a TV show that goes on like one of these big networks like AMC or HBO, whenever you're on one of the shows, you have to ask, look, we're a new show. Don't promote the shit out of us on the popular show.
You
Yeah.
don't want to low winter sun them?
No
Exactly.
Winter Sun,
See,
no
it's a-
leftovers,
it's a
none
term
of that.
now.
Like the Silicon Valley, they hit the promotion for that show pretty much spot on. And something about that, who's the guy from Daily Show that everybody loves so fucking much? That has a
John
show?
Oliver?
Yeah, people fucking love that guy because he's British and that's easy.
He's
and,
all right.
So that show they promote too much too, but somehow he gets away with it. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think I saw
His
a
promos aren't even
stat.
that good.
They're
Yeah,
not-
it's the same one over and
It
over.
is. It's the same joke again and again.
Yeah.
They
What, like,
I think
on
HBO
Sunday,
released
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna take some Sundays off.
Yeah.
HBO released some I guess viewer data on Silicon Valley and the Game of Thrones season finale today. I guess the Silicon Valley is now their most watched half-hour show, and the season finale for Game of Thrones was like 37% higher than the previous season finale.
Do you know
What
the
was the-
It's a
philosophy
damn good episode.
behind
What
the
was it?
HBO's philosophy, the way they do things? That their hour-long shows are all licensed IP stuff, and then their half-hour shows are all original stuff.
Interesting.
So they can like use the big shows to kind of lead the way for their smaller original shows.
What's the
Dude, everybody loves Silicon Valley.
It's a good
I-
show.
I need to continue watching all of it. I watched like 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think Silicon Valley, I want to say, averaged like 5.6 million viewers an episode.
Fucking
pretty
awesome.
that's awesome
And,
for HBO.
On a paid channel, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
paid channel.
And I think the Game of Thrones season finale was like 8.9 million watched it first run, then like another 7 million watched it in the first 24 hours on DVR.
Wow.
because they fucked up the recording.
That happens sometimes.
That's so cool. I thought it was the best finale of all the finales so far in that show.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty satisfying.
They usually, it's usually episode 9 is the big one, and then episode 10 is kind of just tying
Yeah.
things up. It wasn't the way this time.
Are you looking forward to season 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's
8 more months?
like 8,
Oh,
10 months away.
10
Oh,
months.
Jesus.
Can I tell you something I've noticed over now 4 seasons of watching Game of Thrones, and our joke about when we have Game of Thrones night, we always cheer for the nudity slate when it comes up. Here's what I've learned. If the nudity warning doesn't come up at the beginning of that episode, watch the fuck out. People are going to be fucking dying all over that episode.
If there are no tits to calm you down,
Yeah.
the murder shows up.
It is. They have boobs to murder balance, and it's like if there's no boobs, you're like watch out.
Murder's gonna
Sometimes
be
there
up
is
to the roof.
boob murder.
Sometimes it's boob murder.
Yeah.
Like Joffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yep.
a bit more.
Sometimes it happens. I like that character too. If you're talking about the same one,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that was a good character.
She was good.
You talking about season 1 character or this season?
I think he's talking about an old one.
Okay, let's not even go into
Yeah,
it because we're gonna hit spoiler territory.
Let's get as vague as possible.
Yeah, let's get as vague as possible. I will say this though, as spoiler free as this gets, is that you've read all the books, right,
Correct.
Mr. Goose?
Correct.
So somehow they were like going along, and season 1 was the first book, season 2 was the second book, season 3 was first half of the third book, season 4 was supposed to be the second half of the third book. Nope, they went all the way through the 5th book with some of the storylines.
Some of the storylines really started leapfrogging ahead, and then some of it just like took weird turns and yeah.
Well, I would not be surprised next season if it goes Walking Dead level of just like the books are kind of out the window and more of a guideline.
A friend of mine finished book 3
I was scratching my neck. I thought I was off camera. And I'm embarrassed by that.
A friend of mine finished book 3 in anticipation of the season 3 finale, and then some of the stuff in that finale, he's like, I haven't gotten there in the book yet.
And
It's
he
like-
won't.
Yeah,
The show spoiled the book for him.
yeah. It's like some of that stuff is just like
Show
Yeah.
spoiled the
Out
book. I love it.
But there were also moments where stuff from this season was in the first book.
Is that possible? Yeah.
The bit where it doesn't spoil anything really. The Hound was talking about what happened to his face.
Just
he
backstory
also
stuff.
talked about that
That
in
was the
season 1.
first season when they
Yeah.
introduced
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but that conversation he had with Arya, he had with Sansa in the book, in the first book.
Yeah?
They just put it in that episode.
Oh.
Like, they never talked about how his brother did that
They
Yeah, they
mentioned it in season
in
1.
the show.
Yeah.
I
Not like, but it was the exact conversation.
Yeah, you're right.
like you mean burning his face and all that stuff and
Yeah,
everything?
and how this dad was,
Oh, his face is burned? What?
Yeah, I know. So.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He keeps his hair long. I can't tell.
It's true. It's like a makeup.
He's a
effect.
great actor. The guy that plays the Hound's a great actor.
Yeah.
I think you blew my mind when you told me he's the guy from Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
Yarp.
Yarp.
Oh, I mean, listen, casting is tough, but it can be the most rewarding part of any production. We went through some casting stuff on day 5, and it was just like, it was great. I think they nailed all that stuff perfectly, and it made production of that show a lot easier.
Yarp.
Yarp.
Here, let me read this thing here.
Plus, we burned people's faces.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by. I have a problem I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
All right, go for it.
You were there. You experienced this problem. We were watching the World Cup earlier.
We were all there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All 4 of us.
All
were
4
doing
of us were there. We do not have
United
cable.
States versus Ghana.
We do not have cable, so we were watching it on the Apple TV. And we were streaming it, via the Watch ESPN app.
We were doing
No.
something different, though, because...
Yeah,
we were
I'm
okay.
getting there.
Okay.
Jesus, Jordan. So we were taking that
Yeah, don't
feed,
come on the podcast and talk,
Yeah.
dickhead.
and then we were running
Excuse
it
me.
into the Xbox One so that we could use like the Xbox app. And
Oh,
you
is
can,
that what was happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see like
Dumb-
stats and
that's a
stuff on
dumb
the side. The problem was I've had that Apple TV on streaming all day, so I guess it had built up a buffer and it lagged behind the actual broadcast.
Yep.
So towards the end of the U.S. Ghana game, stuff started getting spoiled for us because there would be like pop-up notifications from the Xbox about goals
Yeah.
or the end of the game. We're like, fuck! And it was coming up like
Yeah,
4
it was
minutes
getting-
before stuff would happen.
Yeah, really tense, and like questions were popping up that
There was a-
haven't happened yet. It's
yeah,
like,
there was a-
do you think that will be the winning goals? What the fuck?
There was a great moment where it was a free kick, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it was a corner.
Yeah.
And they were just setting up for the corner. It goes, ba-ding,
Goal.
goal,
Yeah.
USA. We're just like, and
here it
then
comes.
he kicks it in. The guy heads it into the net. And we're like, yeah.
Barbara was on her computer, and I guess she was like reading Twitter and stuff.
She's such a sneaky little
yeah,
devil.
she was like, no, they're gonna score. I can feel it in my bones.
When she
I
kept, saying,
feel
that,
it.
when she kept
Yeah.
saying that, I was like, I know you know it
Yeah.
now. I know.
Yeah. I didn't realize that we were on a delay, so I
I had
was like,
suspected it, so
What a-
I
what a
closed.
rat.
I closed
She
my
really did
laptop.
that?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
she's like, I can feel it. And we're
just
going to be
know
like,
you
oh,
guys.
Barbara, you're psychic.
Yeah, and then to fuck with us, she was like, no, I think Ghana's gonna score now.
We did that in college to fuck with a buddy of mine where he would watch Jeopardy every day, and he had a fucking. Did I tell this story already? But
I don't think
he had
so.
a Jeopardy calculator. It was like a home thing. Seriously, he had it was a handheld device, and it would look like a Jeopardy calculator, so he could play along at home and keep score for himself, like answering the questions.
Why can't you just write down the question?
He was into it. He was totally into it. And one day he had to go home and he had to stay for an extra day. Couldn't be there on Monday. So this is back in the days of VHS. So we would all gather in his room to watch Jeopardy. We recorded Jeopardy and we all watched it like 2 or 3 times. Then he came in and we played the previous day's episode of Jeopardy.
And he thought it was live.
And he thought it was he'd answer questions and we're like, who's Charles Manson? What is the Battle of Hastings? And it's like, what the fuck? So he was very confused by everybody in the room and knowing every answer to every single question.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good prank.
Yeah, I can't imagine. So I'm still baffled by the Jeopardy calculator. Was it just so he could keep track of his score more easily, or was it like a play-at-home game that communicated with Jeopardy.
It was literally didn't communicate with Jeopardy. It was just sitting on there, and he would answer a question. He'd enter the dollar amount, and he had a daily double for handling that part of it, and it would just keep track of his score.
It's like a play-along thing.
Yeah. It was just like so he could answer
How
the
old
questions.
was this guy?
Yeah.
He was college. He was in engineering.
Get a life.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Why
that's
do
what
you-
it is.
I'm
I'm gonna look it
So,
up, see if it exists still.
Speaking of socially awkward, weird things,
Hey,
You mean you?
Don't make fun of him.
I feel like we need to teach people who work here that adding water to an empty soap container does not make soap.
Does not equal more soap.
Yeah, it does.
No, it does not.
It totally does.
It does not.
It just stretches it out a little bit more.
It does not. Have you encountered this yet?
You
No.
complain too much.
We'll run out of soap in the bathroom. Oh, you don't wash your hands after the bathroom. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to like pump soap on your hands, and it's just like it just shoots water out.
Yeah.
You're like
That's
this.
gross.
This isn't soap. This is just dirty water.
Water becomes really gross when it's not yours.
Is it ever yours?
Like when everyone did shots of vodka and it was water. That is so gross to me.
Yeah, it's just like
Ugh. I
tepid
didn't-
water that's been
I
sitting
didn't
out.
put the water
There,
there.
there's
and I was
the
on
that's
it.
Jeopardy
it.
challenger.
That's exactly it. It looks like I went to college in 1974 though, because of that picture. But that's exactly what it was.
Get an iPhone app, you prick.
Yeah, you prick. Go to the future. Get an iPhone.
So
put an app on
it's
it.
called
and
the
come back.
Jeopardy Challenger, and it looks like a calculator, but it's just its entire purpose
Well, where
was so
do you
you to
put
keep
in-
track of your
Yeah,
Jeopardy
I don't-
score for the
How
day.
do you write your answer?
It just
You don't write
it's on
the
the
answer.
honor system. If you got it right.
How do you write the answer? So you can't even wrap your mind around how lame this thing is.
Yeah.
It's just a like he go like what is
It's
the
a
Battle of
calculator.
Hastings, and they got it right.
Calculator.
It's a calculator with just preset number amounts.
And it could
You fill in the blanks
The
as
number
you go.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the full
Oh, what do
thing.
you got
So-
a little music note?
and the little number pad. Yeah,
that
we play
play
the
the
Jeopardy.
theme?
We play the Jeopardy theme.
Nice.
Oh my God! Really?
While
Yeah,
you're
wait.
filling out your like
Well,
final
what the fuck?
Jeopardy.
It's got to come with some use.
Wait, how-
I thought you were joking when you said it played the Jeopardy thing.
What else would it do?
Well, how does the Jeopardy theme go?
Da 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 dun dun. That's it. That is the Jeopardy theme. I fucking heard it every day in college.
my
'cause
new
of
ringtone.
fucking Whitlock watching it. He had an armchair too. He'd sit there and watch it the whole time. He was dude was fucking locked in. He was locked in. He loved his
He has
Jeopardy.
no time for your shit.
He seriously had no time for
So
my
you were
shit.
streaming from the Apple TV all day?
Smart dude too.
I thought we're not allowed to stream here.
Oh my God! How many times are we gonna fucking talk
Jesus,
about
Gavin.
this?
Are we not? Are we are? What?
You were here. Yes, you can. Go ahead.
I
Knock
don't
yourself
want to.
out.
I actually have work to do. so.
Good for you. You were there too. You were watching
Yeah.
also.
You didn't seem so busy when we were watching the game.
I watched the last 5 minutes.
I think you showed
Yeah.
up at halftime.
Yeah, you did.
Prick.
Last 5 minutes.
I want someone to back me up about the fact that go ahead.
Are we talking about mystery time?
Mystery time.
Talk about it.
Yeah, you.
There's
you,
no
you
such
just-
thing as
no,
mystery
no.
time.
I want to
Please,
hear.
I want to hear your explanation.
I want to hear his
Go
interpretation.
for it,
of my
Jordan.
explanation.
Jordan.
Bernie
go.
was confused by what do you call penalty time or mystery time?
Stoppage
where
time.
At the end of each half, they have the stoppage time, and he always thought it was a mystery to everyone else. Like they would just end the game arbitrarily, randomly, with no warning after time has gone.
They just didn't ever tell you what the amount of time at the end of
But
the game
They
was.
do.
put it on the screen every single time for both halves,
Nah.
and they hold up a board. When they know how much the
They're
ref's going to
u-
add
they
on.
announced it at the stadium as well.
All right.
There will be 4 minutes of extra time.
And he was convinced that it was going to be wrong, but it ended right on the
Dude,
dot.
it ended right on 95 minutes.
No, it didn't. It was 3 seconds early they stopped it.
No, it was right on the
So
dot.
you're
they stopped-
complaining that they stopped it early.
If they stopped an American football game 3 seconds early, that'd be a big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. Time matters. Time matters.
Not in footy.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing was going to
Also,
happen.
if something's about to happen, he'll wait.
Yeah.
Like they always blow up
Well,
a random part.
The ultimate argument, what it boiled down to, was Bernie said he was upset with soccer because you never know when the game's going to end. But it's a much tighter window than like an American football game where it's like the game's going to be 3 to 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, at least the clock is a lot more definitive or is a lot closer in soccer than it is like in American football.
Like when they start the match, an hour and a half later, you're going to be done with the match.
well, and then 15 minutes for halftime.
When they have
but
a
yeah.
thank you. So.
yeah, it's like a 2-hour commitment. It's a game of football.
Yeah, it's like clockwork. They start the game on time. 45 minutes after that.
but it's
about-
rarely a
I
moment
am
where
not
the-
in any way saying that American football time is superior the way they do. I agree.
It sounds
the
like
start,
that's what you're saying.
The start and stop. It was just something I thought was the case, and I still maybe I just completely misunderstood.
In your defense, I think that's the way it used to be.
Football?
I remember excuse me. Ooh. I remember watching games when I was younger, and that was the case.
It was just like at the end, they would just keep playing. It's like the referee will stop them when stoppage time is done, and you just didn't know how much time there was.
Right,
But
but you always know it's going to be between maybe 1 and 5 minutes.
It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna go to like.
Well, you guys know. You
120
guys are
minutes of
saying
extra
you
time.
do know there's a board, and they put it on the screen
Well,
every single time.
Ever
Well, I
since
mean,
I've been alive,
yeah.
I've always seen the number.
Ever since
come
you've
up
been watching footy.
on the screen. Yeah.
Hey, do you have any kind of love for the San Antonio Spurs because you root for the Tottenham Hotspurs?
No,
Not at all.
no.
Isn't
Spurs
it just
won
Hotspur?
5th championship. The Spurs won. Kara
Cool.
just went woohoo. What do you guys
There's
think?
a lot of people who do not like the Spurs in this office.
Jack hates him.
Really?
Jeff hates him.
There's a
Wow.
lot of Texas teams I don't like. It's just like, what do you have this experience too, guys? We've been down to Australia a bunch. Michael and Lindsay are down in Australia right now for Supernova.
Down.
Hi guys.
Couldn't help but notice that when you go to Australia, the intense regional rivalries in Australia. Like if you say we're in Sydney, it's like, oh, next week we're going to Melbourne, and everybody goes, boo, you fucking shitheads, fuck them. Or, if you go to like Perth, and the people in Perth are like, boo, we stink. But,
Everyone in Perth hates Perth.
We're so far away.
we had a great time in
I
Perth.
loved Perth.
It was a blast. Michael and Lindsay are going there.
Yeah.
So
So what's crazy to me is that Michael and Lindsay, in relation to us, are upside down right now.
now I don't like to think about it like that. They're 8 hours behind us
all of-
tomorrow.
They're
But
like
all
bats.
of the time, all of the fun they're having right now, in relation to us, is flipped upside down.
All of the fun we're having in relation to them is flipped upside down.
I totally don't think of it that way.
What do you mean?
I don't think the Earth is having it up and down. It's just we're all on the surface.
Well, in
you know?
relation to you, I mean. We're
No.
all on the what do you mean?
I still don't think of that like
Right.
that.
Yeah, you don't think of it that way,
So
but
you're
they
on
are.
top of the globe.
Imagine
I see where
Not
you're
really.
coming from.
Imagine in space,
Oh, okay.
cut out the Earth, and now you're just in space. You're this way up. I mean, no, you're like that way up.
Oh god.
Cut them out, they're that way up.
And
Put
you
them
move us
together,
close
you're like
together.
that.
You could never put us. That's the thing, though. You're taking the Earth out of the equation. I could never get close to Michael Lindsay and be like, if I'm going to do a comparison, I could never get near
What
them.
if-
They would be right side up.
What if you had
Yeah,
a
but-
satellite?
They're right side up. They're right side up, just far away from me at a different angle. I don't know how else to put it.
No, well, if you went straight down through the Earth and popped out,
They are near the antipode,
Of what?
Austin.
Oh yeah, that's okay. They'll be when they go to Perth. They will be. No,
Yeah.
I just don't think of it like that.
But it
I just
doesn't matter
listen,
what you think about it.
Yes, it does. It totally matters what I think
If you
about it.
slammed into each other like this, you would slam into each other feet first.
I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying about that. I mean,
He gets it. He just.
I totally
doesn't
get it. I'm just saying that I don't. That's not the way I conceptualize
That's like saying
it.
the color blue, yeah, but nah,
No,
not blue.
nope. I totally
Well,
don't
if
think
it's in
of it like that.
Australia, it's.
Like if I were to travel to Michael and Lindsay, they would not be upside down.
Correct,
'cause
because
you
you
would
would
go-
be.
Well, that's because
You
you
would
would be
flip-
upside down too.
You would flip over going there.
See,
Yeah.
so
You would do this, yeah, like that. You're playing.
we're all right side up on the surface.
I know. Everyone knows that.
I know.
You mean they're not standing on their heads in Australia?
There's no other way to exist for us to exist. I can't exist upside down on the surface of the planet.
Yeah,
So-
you can.
No, I can't.
What?
I can exist.
Gavin, stop. You're losing it.
That I can't. I can't exist like upside down. So there is no upside down because we're all on the surface of the planet. We're all relative from the center of the planet. You're like stepping back away from the planet, like looking at the planet where you're saying, okay, this is the planet. These things are pointing this direction. These things are pointing this direction. I think of the Earth as being our frame of reference, so everything just points outward. And
Well,
I know
yeah.
that's a weird way to look at it. It's just the way I think of the
The
planet.
more outward you go,
Whoa,
the upside
man.
you go upside down. It's
What's
like
that?
2 laser pointers. Right. If we shoot a laser up in the air and he shoots one, it's gonna be like a line.
We're having a very relative discussion. We just have different points of origin and different frames of reference. We can't all be we're just not upside down. We're all on the surface of the planet.
He's saying in relation to you, they're upside down.
No.
God.
You just said we have different relative perspectives, and I'm
it's
trying to
all relative.
clarify it.
No, I'm telling you, they're not. It's the way I look at it, where the planet is the,
The
center of my
incorrect way.
reference, and we're all standing outwards like
not,
this.
Not relative to the
You
planet,
just did
but
it. You
relative
just
to
did-
you.
yes.
You did the hand motion that totally backed
You
him
just
up.
proved it. You're like, I disagree with everything you're
but that's
saying.
not upside
but
down.
You're right.
That's not upside. That's not upside down.
Relative
I
to
just
you
don't-
and not the planet.
I just don't see it that
What
way.
is the definition of upside down?
That if
Describe it. Define it.
okay, your upside is pointing down. Their upside, their upside is not pointing down. Their upside is pointing up. Their upside is pointing up.
In relation to you,
Yeah, in relation to me.
this is the dumbest conversation. I don't even feel like the dumb one on this one.
I can't believe I agree with you.
yeah,
So
so
no,
I agree
this is
with
actually a
Gavin.
really good way. This is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. That when we're standing next to each other, point up. Point up.
We're not next to each other.
We are next to
You
each other. Up is this way. Up is that from the frame of reference. This is up,
But
right?
what's your reference
You're
point?
just saying up is space at this point.
Up is space.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Your
If
reference
we all
point,
point up, we're pointing the same thing.
your reference point is your head, and your head is that way up, so you're pointing up.
No, I think his reference point is the ground.
So I think that's what we're getting at. Is
No,
I get
he said
that
his
like
reference point is the
I
Earth.
get on like a frame of axis
Which
they're
is where
pointing
we'll
they're pointing in a different direction than I am, but upside down indicates they're facing the wrong way. That's what it means to me. And their upside is not down, their upside is up. And so I completely recontextualize
it's
it
the
wherever
word-
they
you
are in
all
the
have
world.
the same
No,
upside.
it's the word upside down. That's
Yeah,
Not necessarily.
that's
I
what's
get what you're saying.
running
It's not a
through
semantical thing. I really think of them as being in the same orientation of me, just in a different place. I'm serious. I'm being serious here. That's the way I look at it. I can't wrap my mind around the fact that you think they're upside down. I cannot picture them that way.
Because if you froze them and you froze us and you
I get what you're
slammed
saying
us
them.
together, he
Yeah,
would be upside
you
down.
do that, and I can see that they're upside down. The moment you put
just
us,
refuses
the
to
moment
believe
the
it.
moment you put us across the center of the earth, they're not upside down anymore. That's exactly the way that I look at it. That's exactly the way
All
I
right,
look at
what
it.
if they were on the equator? Would they be going sideways?
Let me ask you a question. So, like in Star Trek, in Star Trek, you always see this. Like, you got the Starship Enterprise and the Klingon Jimmy Jam, and they come up to each other, and they always go like this in space, and like they face each other.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing. Like, why would two
Right.
spaceships face each other?
Yeah.
They come like this. They come like this. They be like that. Is one of them upside down? Like if the Starship Enterprise comes like this, and the Klingon Bird of Prey comes like
relative
this.
to the other person, which is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all
If
relative
they're
to
upside
each
down.
other.
Yes.
I don't see him as upside down.
Wait,
The ship is upside down. The people aren't.
There is no up or down, but
Validation.
relative to the people and their orientation.
See, that sign is upside down. That sign is upside down because
I'm upside down with this conversation.
that sign. They're putting a sign
I'm
on
upside
screen,
down.
which is Australia. The sign is upside
Let's
down.
end
The
the
road is not.
Let's end the conversation, and we'll agree that I'm right for once.
Yep. Gavin wins.
No, I totally get what you're saying. I think I'm taking your perspective. What you usually do with things, you think about them much differently than everyone else.
You're the only one with the dissenting opinion here.
Usually that's Gavin. That's my point.
I don't know why your reference point is the center of the earth. Of course it is.
Yeah,
Why isn't your reference point
because
you?
we exist on top of that object. You take us out, you put us in space, we're upside down.
No, there's no upside down in space.
There you go. There's the shirt from the conversation. There's no upside down space.
We got it.
We got it. We can move on.
All right.
So did you see this little 3D printed Gus thing?
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, it's 3D
I can't see
printed?
because it's on the other
Let's
side
get a
of the church.
close up.
I don't know if they're set up for a close up, but
All right, never mind.
Oh, look at that. They got a
when
shot
I
of
was
it.
in, it looks photoshopped. It looks so weird to me.
You look like you don't know what to do with your hands.
When I
even
was-
in statue
Yeah, I didn't know
just
what
like
to do.
Gus.
When I was at the South by Southwest Gaming Show, we had our booth there. I saw there was a booth that would take photos of you and make a 3D model out of you, and then print it, and then give it or sell it to you. So we've been talking with them, and they're coming to RTX. So they sent me this.
It's so
model.
amazingly accurate. Like it's got your posture,
the-
it's got your slouch.
The crazy thing is, I've never seen my pooch from a third person perspective.
This is it.
This makes me want to lose weight. Like looking at it, it's like, I always look at my belly from the top down relative to my belly, and seeing it from that third person perspective. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. It really makes me feel like I could lose 10 pounds there.
Would you be offended if I put your head into my anus?
Yes, I would. So they're going to be at RTX.
That's awesome.
If you go to there, we'll have a link in the link dump if you want to check it out. And if you go to captureddimensions.com, you can see they have a link with all the information, some pictures and stuff.
How much does that cost?
I don't know.
I really want to get one.
They sent it to
Can
us
you
for-
do any pose you want?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Oh,
What would
is
you
that-
do, Gavin?
Bernie's giving it for a close. It might not focus because it's on manual focus, Bernie.
There's also
Yeah,
there's no light over there. either.
and there's also no light. Put it on the table. Yeah, put it on the table. He'll get it.
No, it's fine. I was going to do ad reads.
Yeah, they sent it to us just so we could show people like what it is, because it's weird to wrap your mind around. Like if you take a picture of it, like even here when you look at the picture, it looks like it's photoshopped in. Or
Yeah.
thank you went with that one and not the wide. I appreciate the close up on
The
my
face
my
is
gut.
so accurate as well. Like your nose protrudes the exact amount your actual.
Yeah, there's even,
Yeah,
like, there's even
it's this face too. They captured this.
Yeah.
there's even texture in the
That's Gus'
hair
face.
and everything. It's so weird.
They just
It's like he's staring. I can't handle this.
Stick with it for a while.
It looks like the kind of thing you'd expect to have like a hologram on your iPad. You're talking. It's like the next
Like if you
iteration
look
of
at it, if you
FaceTime.
stare at look at him in the eye for too long.
Gross.
It's like he's
So
staring.
yeah,
into
some
your
people
soul.
asking about that
It's
on
really
Twitter.
cool.
That's what that is.
It's even got your elbow detail.
Nice
How do they do
weenus.
that? Like what is it? Pictures?
Yeah,
Or
you
is it-
go in and you stand, and they have like a ring of SLRs all around, and then they trigger them all at the same time.
I want to do mine with my knob out.
You go for it. It's curtained off for your privacy.
Is it really?
Yeah. Little Gus.
They don't judge.
I think Kara said it looked to her like it was made out of sugar because it's got like a
it's got like a sugar coating on it.
like a texture or like a coating on it. Yeah, that's totally my face. It's really creepy to look at. But I guess like they a lot of people who dress up in cosplay, go and they like get pictures of themselves dressed up in costume.
That's a good idea.
Oh, look, it's about the size of my beer bottle.
Imagine a beer
it's a match made in heaven. I wish it was a beer that big.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like that short where you had a tiny version of you.
Yeah, baby Gus.
Yeah.
Like if there were a beer as big as me, it'd be like I see my death.
Yeah. Relative to you though, who would be upside down?
I'd be like a goldfish. I'd be floating upside down in the bottle of beer. So I had something annoying happen to me last week.
Go for it.
I got stuck in a fucking elevator.
Did you really?
For 45 minutes, I was stuck in a fucking non-air conditioned elevator.
Alone?
Why don't you tell us the name of the company so that people can go right to the website down?
Yeah, where were you?
I'm not gonna say.
Please don't.
It's like I took the elevator up to the 3rd floor, got out, had my meeting, came back, got in the elevator to go back down to the 1st floor. And as soon as the door closed, the floor level, like the number 3, just started flashing. I was like, oh fuck, and like the elevator wasn't moving. I start hitting the buttons, nothing. I'm holding down the door open, nothing. So I hit the emergency call button, and I never know what to say. Like they pick up, they're like, "Hello," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm stuck in an elevator."
So is that dialed to a different company, or is it dialed to someone in the building?
like
I guess it went to another company.
some emergency hotline,
Right.
Elevator hotline.
And they're like, "Yeah, there's a picture from it."
Wait, is that what? Did you take that?
Esther took it. She was stuck in the elevator with me. And
People on Twitter have the dumbest arguments. I'll come back to
so they're like, okay, well, we're gonna send someone out, and the elevator I'm in is not air conditioned. It's hot as shit. So we're stuck in there for 45 minutes. I'm going crazy. Finally, like 45 minutes later, the elevator repairman shows up, and I can hear him like yelling from the bottom of the shaft. He's like, "Hey, are you stuck in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm stuck in the 3rd floor." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna let you out."
So you had to yell back.
Yeah. So I'm like yelling in the elevator like a lunatic. Then after a few seconds, the elevator starts going down, but not like a normal speed, like a real slow. And it gets down to the 2nd floor, and the door's open. Like I walk out, and I yell down, "Okay, we're out." The guy goes, "What?" I go, "Elevator came down to the 2nd floor. We're out." He goes, "What?" I go, "We walked out." He goes, "I haven't done anything." And I'm like, I go, "What?" And he goes, "Wait there." And he comes back up through the other elevator, and he looks at it, he goes, "That's weird. I didn't do anything to this elevator." And he's like standing there, he's like picking at the door, and he's like, "Oh, I bet this caused it." And I was like, "Can I just go?"
Yeah, why'd you
I don't need the explanation for why it's broken.
You're out of the elevator.
Hey,
You're
I'm
fine.
done. Like, let me just go and get in my car.
So it just started moving on its own, and then the doors opened.
Yeah.
Was it moving while you got out, or did it stop?
No, it stopped.
Yeah.
If I were you, I would have yelled at him. It's like, get out of there. It's moving.
Yeah.
We talked about this years ago on one of the first podcasts, but do you think about it when you're
All
in the
the
elevator?
time.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
All the fucking
There was a
time.
doctor in Houston that was decapitated by a malfunctioning elevator. It was like something like you would write in a bad movie or a cartoon where the doctor was rushing for the elevator, didn't make it, and the elevator door shut on their head and then went up a floor and was it the other way? I know somebody was in the elevator with either a head or a freshly decapitated body, which would be a nightmare. You want me to read the Snopes article on it, which is listed as true?
Sure.
Accident itself was hard to imagine. The ill-fated physician was trapped between the doors of the cable-propelled elevator, then decapitated as the carriage ascended. According to the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office, the doctor died from multiple blunt force injuries to the head and body. His corpse was retrieved from the bottom of the elevator shaft, along with 2 pagers, a cell phone, and an electronic organizer. So, yeah, he was, like, trying to get in the elevator. It shut on him and then, like, went up and he...
That's horrendous.
So
you must have the floor of the elevator
Just
crushed his head off.
Just snipped.
the other thing I always think about, what I thought you were going to say, was
Always think about it. When I'm getting in and out of elevator, I
Why
always...
did he
Like, the thing
go
where
in-
an elevator, someone go, like this, you're going up and it goes, dunk, like that. It's like
Yeah.
that fake, like, little bump. I'm
Yeah.
like, I get out of that elevator in one smooth motion. There's no hesitation or anything.
You jump out like a pencil.
Yeah, I do like this.
relative to the elevator,
roll
he
out.
moves quickly.
All right, here's a dopey argument. Here's why somebody started explaining to me. I think people think that I don't understand the concept. Of course, I understand the concept that he's on the other side of the world, standing upright, which means he's quote unquote upside down.
Yeah, nobody refutes
I'm
that.
just saying that I don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
I don't look at it that way. And somebody explained to me. They said, "Here's what you need to do to solve the problem. Call Michael. tell him at the same time, point at the sun. You'll be pointing at the sky, and he'll be pointing at the ground. No, he won't. No, he won't. He will not point at the ground.
Because in Australia, the sun is in the ground.
You see what I mean? It's like at night you don't go, that's where the sun is. It's on the other side of the earth. You don't point that way. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like it just, that's what I'm saying is that relative to the, I'll get lost in this stuff. I'll be lost in like my five senses conversation.
The other thing I think about that I thought you were going to mention when it comes to elevators is we used to work with a guy who...
What the fuck? Somebody just said I told both these stories on podcast 151. The Jeopardy one and the decapitation one.
No way.
What else did we talk about?
I
Let's
don't know.
get
I'm
that
going to
one
find
as well.
out.
Go through the link, though. Let's rehash it for more material. The
Recreate
thing I
it.
thought you were going to mention was how
Thanks to Amish refugee for
Which
playing
podcast
police.
was it?
151.
I
Look it up.
wasn't there.
we
3 weeks
worked with a guy
funny one.
who knew someone who worked on an elevator repair business, and he said the thing you always had to worry about with the elevators was not falling, but going through the ceiling.
Right, because the thing would snap on the other end. Or something.
Right. And
Oh, that was our old boss.
right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I always think about now when I'm in an elevator. Is like you don't have to worry about falling; it's going up and hitting
Really?
And that happened in Brazil, somewhere in South America the other
shit.
day. There's like video footage of the elevator malfunction. Like the guy gets in, the doors close and then reopen, and you just see like all the floors just going by him, and then the elevator hits the ceiling. You just see the guy like,
Does he die?
no, he lived, but he had some serious injuries.
Dude,
So
I
he
saw-
basically just hit the ceiling at 50 miles an hour
It
or
didn't
something.
slow
Right.
down.
What would you do? Would you lie on the floor and like do
Yeah, how
this?
do
If
you
you
brace
have time to
yourself?
think about it, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Is it
if
like
you're
a-
going up, it would push you to the ground anyway.
Yeah, you would hope you would lie down and that there's enough like
Imagine
range
if it,
of
like,
movement to
squashed
slow
you
you
into the
down.
split. Splits or
Is it
something.
like the reverse of when you're falling and you jump at the last second that you like break the fall? How do you reverse that? Do you do
You
jump
drop.
What you do is you
jump
go to
up-
Australia very quickly so that you're upside down.
Jump
and then
upside
your
down.
feet land.
Keep
Are we going to
laughing
show the
about
video?
it.
Oh, I
Of
thought
what?
we were about to.
Oh, that is.
Oh, is it the dude?
That is.
They're
the
gonna
video.
show a clip of, but while they're getting ready for it. Gavin asked, "What would you do? Would you do this?" Theoretically, you can sit on this couch and think of what you would do. In this situation, all you would do is hit your floor button over and over and over again.
Yeah, which
Like
is
your
what I
brain
think
would
he
shut
does.
I think
down.
that's what he's doing.
Is that what he's doing? He is. Yeah, he's smacking the floor
How
buttons.
do I stop it? Isn't
Well, don't go up, right? Because
Look
you're
at
going
he
to
won't
hit your head.
stop. He won't stop hitting the floor
Oh,
button.
oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
so he
man.
just raced up.
Yeah, and it's creepy how the doors like open back up.
There's no emergency stop button
Whoa.
on that? Maybe that's what he's
I
pushing.
can't believe he didn't get on the ground.
You have no time to
Yeah,
think
he
about
doesn't
it. It
know-
happens
he
just
doesn't know
like
what's
in a couple
happening.
of seconds. I mean, you don't think it's gonna hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
He's mesmerized.
It's not.
too.
It's not a
Man.
scenario you're
It's like
prepared
that.
for.
It is like that too, man.
So I think the way it was described to us by Anthony is that most of those cable-drawn elevators run off of a DC motor, and the DC motors have a tendency to run off. We're probably having this exact same discussion on Podcast 151. They're probably the same train of thought that led us to this thing. And I've seen that. Like, I'm not sure what that phenomenon is where they just, instead of breaking down, they go the other way where it's just like they can't be stopped or slowed down. Who are you texting? Why are you texting in the middle of the podcast?
I'm looking up RT Podcast 151.
How are you? I should do the same thing.
there's a ride at Disneyland called Big Thunder Mountain. And somebody got decapitated on that ride. There's a part where you go through this dark tunnel and it's pitch black, so you don't see anything. But it derailed in that tunnel, and like the cart like flew up and decapitated a guy. So they came out and the guy didn't have a head.
Oh my god!
Every time I go on that ride and I'm in that tunnel, I think, I hope I make it out with my head.
Do you, like,
'Cause I have
shrink down
Yeah,
in
I'm
your-
like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I kind of like cover my head a little bit, like
Do you
just
know-
in case.
There was once an experiment with
Here we go.
dolphins, right?
No, stop it. That
Was
is
that
just-
Was that on that one?
Was it?
Wow.
Because that literally, this is weird.
That
That's a
came back in
classic.
the news.
That came out of the news
Yeah.
because you just did an interview with the BBC, the lady who was giving the dolphin hand jobs.
I only
She
got it
fuck-
tweeted to me like 500 times.
Oh, really?
Why
It
did you yell at
happens.
me for going on my phone when you're on your laptop the whole damn time?
I thought you were texting somebody. That looks a little different. Whenever I have my don't have my laptop on set, I will sometimes use my phone to look up stuff, and people get furious with me.
It's 2014. It's not just a phone.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
You can also text off a laptop now. It's like so
Yeah.
weird.
Who are you texting, Bernie?
It's the context of it. That's all it is.
Has anyone seen any movies in
Context.
D-Box recently?
D-Box. Stop. Anybody go see How to Train Your Dragon 2?
Nope, not yet.
Oh man.
No, but people keep sending me the effing picture and saying that the guy looks like me.
Which is funny because I thought in the first movie he looked just like Ben. I thought
grown
that.
up.
He
grew
grew
up.
through your British friends.
Yeah, there was it was funny because there was a picture on Reddit today that was a dude who had an allergic reaction. If you can show it, Patrick. The guy's in a medical crisis, but it's funny as shit. He has this like a huge swollen upper lip, and it's like I was like, holy shit, what would cause that? Because I read something.
Is it gross?
No. It's like it's comically like, and he's smiling in it. Like the dude's like easygoing. He doesn't give a shit. He's probably like could potentially die of asphyxiation from this allergic reaction he's having, but he doesn't care. He's like taking a selfie in the emergency room. But I wanted to find out what it was, so I went to comments because usually the way Reddit works is really great with the upvoting, downvoting. Is when you look at the first couple comments, usually whatever you thought to ask about it, somebody else thought to ask too, and was answered. Nope, not in this case. The first like 4,000 responses were all like, oh, he looks like this. He looks like that. Oh, it looks like the Joker. Oh, he looks like a chick from Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's like everyone was just saying who the guy looks like. It's like over and over again. I don't know why that association in our brains is so fucking important to tell people.
And
like,
also, the person never cares.
never.
No.
If
Never
someone
cares.
says, if someone says you look like someone else, it's like, I'm either I don't care or it's offending. Like,
Yeah, right?
offensive.
Right.
I get the same thing too.
Who do you get?
Like, the other Hemsworth, the not Liam one. No, not Chris Hemsworth.
Liam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes I get
Is it the singer from Oasis? What? No, I don't know who's Liam Hemsworth.
It's
He's
Chris
the
Hemsworth's
lesser of
brother.
the Chris.
Thor's
he's
brother.
the lesser of
he's
the
the lesser of the
Hemsworths.
Loki.
yeah.
Loki.
Or usually just any fucker with a beard.
Oh yeah, I one time saw Seth Rogen tweet that. He goes, "Stop telling your chubby friends with glasses that they look like me. Please,
Exactly.
they don't look anything like me."
I feel like anybody with like big eyebrows for Gus, anybody with a big nose
Yeah.
for Gavin.
Foofy hair, big
glasses
nose.
and a
big
beard.
hair. Yeah.
Glasses and a beard.
Any
dude.
minority.
We've seen it.
You don't look like anyone.
I get every minority on the internet.
Dude. Yeah, that's the guy. They put him up on the
We'll see
preview
if you're in
thing,
a second.
so we'll put him up.
Yeah, I get like
I've
every
never
minority, or
seen-
specifically the hairiest dude in the world. I get that one.
Cavemen.
That one's down to like 10 times a day. I'm pretty happy about that. Oh, there's
The
that
storm
picture.
has passed. Man.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the Joker.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was over and over and over again.
He looks like a guy who's going to die.
What's the name of that thread, Patrick?
Hey, look, it's Gavin.
Hospital selfie.
Friend
okay.
had an allergic reaction and took a hospital selfie.
What do you guys think about the new subreddits that they like made defaults?
I don't know.
Some of them are weird. Like,
Yeah.
I'm logged in all
Data
the
is
time, I
beautiful.
guess, so I don't really see the defaults. I guess I have like a custom set. I don't know. I never know when they'll swap out.
yeah.
He looks like he came out of the Mad Magazine. He looks swell. Reminds me of an episode of The Twilight Zone. Hey, looks like Jennifer Lopez. Joker, is that you? Looks like Janice. These are all individual threads.
At least they're mixing it up.
Dr. Seuss character. He looks like Howard the Duck. Hey, look at him. He looks like this, linked to a picture. Hey, why so serious, Joker? Hey, it's Lana Del Rey. I mean, it's like the whole fucking the whole
everyone-
conversation is the same thing.
Everyone thinks it's their funny original
Oh,
joke.
yeah.
Somebody, and then somebody wrote like 3/4 away to the page. What is he allergic to? there's my fucking hero. There's my hero, buried 3/4 of the way down,
It's
below the fold.
It's frustrating sometimes trying to find like the source for something on Reddit, because like I'll try to do a search
yeah.
on the page and I'll search for source, but source is one of the links you can click, so every comment has a source
Oh, yeah.
in it. So,
So you go through every comment?
no, so I'm like, what other words can I search for to find out where this came from or what the origin for this
What's
is?
another word for source?
Yeah.
Dressing.
Wow.
every see, I'm going all the way down. It's just pages and pages of people saying who he looks like. I just don't know why that association is so important that we have to share that.
What have you done to the back of your laptop?
Oh, this?
Yeah, what
Weirdo.
is that?
They covered this. IGN covered this when I was on their podcast.
Oh, I wonder what brand that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't tell.
I know. Yeah.
There's a great game you can play where, like, if you watch a show like Veronica Mars, just look at the crap they put in front of an Apple laptop. You can do a drinking game on it. It's amazing. It's like a candle and a pot.
So
Oh, yeah, strategically placed to hide
Yeah.
logos.
And is the
Yeah.
logic there that it weakens the product placement if they just let them put it in there, or that Apple could go, hey, we don't want our product in your thing?
Surely nobody would want their stuff not used.
I would
Maybe they
think
had
so.
another product placement that's a competitor.
Yeah.
And
Maybe.
That makes sense. I never thought of that.
I mean,
That
IGN
totally makes
might
sense.
have that because they have ads for like Xbox and stuff.
what about like surfaces?
It's no, it's entirely possible. I'm agreeing with you.
Speaking of which, A Surface Pro 3 looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, are you getting a Surface tablet?
Why,
I
what's
don't
it
know.
do?
He said holding an iPad.
I'm holding an iPad. This is not a fucking product placement. It's like
I'm sure at podcast 151 you said Surface is a piece of shit.
the one and two.
Oh,
are cool.
I know exactly why you say this.
What?
Because they tweeted that all the
Oh no, it's
Titanfall
I'd
servers.
already thought it was cool before that, but it just seemed like it's
Cool
like
hipster.
a full power computer that's a tablet. It's a lot more portable. It's like what I wish the MacBook Air was, like a full, super powerful desktop computer that you could play games on.
Ashley's got a dope laptop. She's got a laptop that like it's touchscreen, and then you can like flip the lid all the way over and turn it into a tablet.
I see it. She uses it on the patch.
It's pretty
What
cool.
was the
jealous.
game that you played with your kids?
Star
I
Control.
played Star Control 2. Urquan Mass. Did we talk about that on that podcast?
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, yeah, seriously.
Wow.
I gotta leave.
Who was on that podcast?
Yeah, I think you and I need to take a break.
Holy shit.
Can't see
We're gonna
that.
yeah, Star Control 2. It's there in the link dump.
Does it also say we need to take a break?
Wait,
what is this?
I wonder if this whole is this scripted? Like, am I reading? Is my lines written on here?
What do I say next?
Is that really part of podcast 151 that we talked about Star Control 2 as well?
Houston Doctor and Elevator, Star Control 2.
Was there a World Cup going on at the time?
Was anyone, did we talk about Australia at all?
I don't think so.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
So
Scissor lift
151,
collapse.
what's this podcast we're doing today?
276.
76?
So we're looking at
about 220 episodes.
Yeah.
So divided by 50 is like 4 years ago?
120 episodes.
Whatever.
The Grey was
No,
a good
what?
movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Just do the math on 3.
So like 2.5 years.
it would be a podcast if I didn't do math wrong in my head.
So like the end of 2011.
How do you guys feel about Adrian Pasdar?
What's that mean?
Like
Adrian,
good actor or what?
Adrian Pass died? Who's it?
Never mind.
Adrian past his prime?
I was
What are we saying?
He was
I don't
talking
even
about
know.
the old
I really
podcast.
don't understand. I really don't. Someone explain it to me.
I don't know.
Hey, what do I feel about who?
Yell is a good band, right?
Yeah, Yell is a good band.
Yeah.
Why?
He's just bringing up stuff from the old podcast.
How are you confused?
I'm so confused.
Bernie's upside down today.
I'm sorry. I must be. I must be.
That's why he thinks he's the same side as.
we talked about Yell in that video? In that podcast?
I was talking
Have I been
to.
listening to Yell now for 2 or 3 years? Someone told me I was on Twitter for 6 years. I stayed away from Twitter for like a month after somebody said that to me. I was like, no, that's not possible.
Did
Twitter,
you have a GeoCities?
I have Twitter for... Stop it. Stop it.
I was talking to Jordan about this the other day. The last World Cup was 2 offices ago. We never experienced a World Cup down at the Ralph Ablanedo office,
Okay.
Yeah.
which
That makes
is
sense.
weird to me to think that in that 4-year period we moved to another office, then outgrew it, and then moved to another one.
That's pretty crazy.
In the span of
So
one
all
World
the
Cup.
Vuvuzela stuff was at Congress.
Yeah, because remember we made that short, like faking the injury at the Congress office.
Oh, yeah.
For the 2006.
The one with
was
the
Jack.
Jack and
World Cup.
Nathan.
I think that might have been Jack's like first appearance.
He was like, oh. It was good.
Who was
So,
it?
do you remember when you called me on my birthday and it was Euro 2004 at the time, I think?
Euro
Wow.
2004. Yeah, we called you. Yeah. No, I don't remember this Euro 2004, but I do remember calling you on your birthday.
10 years ago.
Your birthday just passed recently. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thanks. I guess I was 16 when you called me and now I'm 26.
Oh, it was
Good
like the middle of
Lord.
the night. You like it like woke you up, right?
It was pretty late. Yeah.
I remember that.
You were
Yeah.
awkward as shit.
I was like, Jesus, it's like bloody Church and Simmons talking to me down the phone. It was weird.
Yeah, I remember we were filming Red versus Blue. You're like, hey, let's call Gavin. I was like, what? He was like, it's his birthday. Let's just call him.
Let's call that kid.
It was like 2 a.m. for you or something.
That was my very first ever interaction with you. And now, check this out. Look what I can do now.
How did I have your phone number?
That's what I asked.
How did I have your phone number?
I don't know.
How did you have his phone number?
I don't know. Way to bring it full circle there, Jordan. Nobody knows.
What was it, like your mobile?
Stop looking at your phone. Are you bringing up topics we talked about in the last podcast? Did we talk about that?
Did we talk about
Get rid of your
calling you?
fucking phone right now. I can't take it.
You're really confusing him. I've never seen Bernie that broken.
I said it was wrong. I'm like,
I was like, Yell's a good band. He's like, they are a good band.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, I
I
love
love them. Isn't Yell just one person
You
anyway?
absolutely broke him. For
the
a
weird thing
minute
is,
there.
like, why would we talk about Yell on 151? Because we were working with Monty by then. And Yell was related to, I discovered Yell because Nathan Barnett did that video for Yell. And Nathan Barnett was in the fucking, the panel with me and Monty that they crashed. Maybe I was there before I crashed our PAX panel.
Yeah, that was before he took
Which
his
is why we
pants off.
would have brought it up and brought up Yell
I was
again.
there too.
What, with the PAX panel or the Comic-Con panel with Monty?
Oh. The one where he danced about.
That's
Yeah.
PAX.
By the way, Screw Attack got bought.
They did?
Yeah, they got bought by Full Screen.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
Game
that.
Trailers got bought by Break and Smosh, and then they fucking laid everybody off.
Screw Attack's coming RTX.
Wait, Smosh?
Yeah.
What? Like, do they hire people?
Smosh was bought years ago by a company called Defy
So when you
Media.
say Smosh, you don't mean the actual two guys from Smosh. You
Well,
mean like.
the company is called Smosh.
But is there like
If I walk up to Ian and Anthony at a place, I don't go, "Hey, Smosh." You know, they're it's the name of their company. It's the name of their company. Somebody come up to me and called me Rooster Teeth. I'd be like, "Slag off, you cunt."
I got a reaction.
We got a deep sigh from character. Oh, what?
The C word.
No, but yeah, they sold to, I don't know if it was called Defy at the time, but then they bought Break, and so Smosh and Break and now Game Trailers are all the same company.
big boys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
big
laid
boys.
off, from what I read, the reports were somewhere between half and 2/3 of the Game Trailer staff.
I'm
Shit.
We reported on that for the No. Yeah, so. Do we need to hire anybody? They're based in LA?
Why don't we acquire a company?
And fire people?
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
get
funny,
out, losers.
Here in the broadcast section here at Rooster Teeth, we actually needed to bring someone on. We brought Mariel on because we're filming so much live action stuff.
Hi.
We were down on crew.
Yeah, stop clapping for
That
yourself.
was a shitty applause, wasn't it? I'd feel awful.
She got the pizza today and didn't fuck it
She
up.
did. This
so-
is the first time I've
She
let
did
someone
it?
else handle the pizza order.
It's the most important part of Gus's
It's
Monday.
the most important part.
Like he mentioned that. I was like, hey,
Okay,
That's important.
I have a speech impediment. Thank you for bringing it up.
Do you really?
No.
I was hanging out in your
Yarp.
office watching the game, and you said, "Yeah, I'm gonna let Mariel get the pizza." And I was like, "Wait, what? This is serious." She
What
better
is the
not
thing
fuck
with
it
you
up.
two and pizza?
Pizza's good.
We just like pizza.
Yeah, but you guys have this thing going for a long time.
Yeah, it's like a lame pizza club or something.
No,
You're
that's
just
Eric.
jealous 'cause
Eric
you're
has
not
the
in it.
pizza
Yeah,
club.
Gavin, come on. Intervention right now. It's too long with this.
Everything.
It's too much.
Everything that people have a little thing for is lame. Like how they have like dressed like a whatever Friday or whatever, and then
Yeah.
it's coffee club and
Yeah.
just don't.
Didn't you do something with lunch with your friends? Wasn't
La-
that a thing?
Lads lunch.
Yeah.
That's just lunch though. Have you ever had lunch?
No, it is not.
Yeah.
Pizza's lunch when you
Pizza,
call it
pizza
lunch.
is a subset of lunch.
Yeah, that's, you're
When we
excited about a
eat pizza,
specific
we're
thing.
just eating a meal.
What is
lunch
lads'
is
lunch?
general.
What is lads' lunch?
I don't want to talk about it.
What is it? I gotta know. I gotta know. What is it?
It's just like a little group of people who get lunch together sometimes.
It's you and Michael and Ray? Or is it
No, this was pre.
Yeah, that was
Rooster
pre
Teeth
pre
lads.
the lads.
pre-Rooster Teeth lads?
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
that mean? Just like your boys.
He's
It was,
saying it's a
originally it was
recycled
me
thing.
and Jeff and two of Jeff's friends.
It's not an
And you
original
go out
idea.
for lads' lunch.
Yeah, we'd all meet up and do lads'
Yeah.
lunch. It was like probably 18 months since we last did lads' lunch, and then I moved the lad name over to Rooster Teeth, where it's now bigger than ever.
You co-opted it.
Yeah.
All right,
Is
fair
that
enough.
a polite way to say stole?
What's that?
Is co-opted a polite way to say stole?
No. Now
He
it's part of,
repurposed it.
Now it's part of my company's IP, so no. It's co-opted forever. Not stolen. Yeah, so it's too long with the pizza thing. Stop it. It's too much.
I guess we'll just like repurpose it into
No.
Rooster Teeth
Just let it
IP,
go.
and then it'll be legit.
Co-opt.
Yeah, we'll co-opt it.
What is the longest running thing you and I have, Gus? What do we have?
Antipathy.
Yeah.
You guys are all jealous.
Smoldering sexual tension.
I invite Gus to everything and he just doesn't. Never.
I just don't. Like, I'll be honest. I've told you. I just don't see the point.
I never stop inviting you
I
to stuff.
I
though.
appreciate the invites. I just don't see the point.
I saw Becca last night.
Yeah, she came over to Game of
I haven't
Thrones.
seen her for ages.
She's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
20 weeks, I want to say.
She looks good for a pregnant person.
What does
Yeah.
that mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
People who are pregnant are just like
I disagree.
usually they're like giant and inflated. She looked great.
Kara.
They are. People get bigger when they're
We have in the
pregnant.
background, we have Kara song like, whoa.
Those inflated cunts.
Jesus.
Slog off.
Podcast
No,
brought
I'm
to
just
you by
saying she looked really good.
What?
She looked top.
She looked great. Although, in typical pregnant lady fashion.
She had to pee like
she had-
500 times.
all during Game of Thrones. It was like, we gotta wait for Becca because she's peeing.
Yeah.
I felt bad. She was sat on the grass. Like she didn't have a chair.
She does have
Did you have a chair?
Who could work that out for her?
I was sat on the bench at the back.
So you didn't feel that bad,
I
obviously.
would have given up my bench.
She was on the
What do you mean
bench.
you would have?
Yeah, but
Well, I didn't realize it was her until it was halfway through the show. I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, you want to sit where I am?"
See, that's a point
You
where
could've
if she
done
had been
that.
a
You just
little
did
more,
it.
if she
Yeah.
had been a little more inflated, you would have noticed her better.
She's further away from you. She would have been
There's
upside down.
drawbacks to looking good while you're pregnant.
you get unnoticed by Gavin.
It's weird when you haven't seen someone for ages, but you see them twice really quickly. Like I bumped into her the day before, just in the supermarket.
I just saw you twice really quickly. Turned my head and saw you again.
No, you should be a
Idiot.
smart ass, Jordan.
What does he mean? See them quickly.
I think he
do
means
you
like
mean?
in the course of a weekend.
Yeah, I haven't
explained it.
seen it for like 6 months.
You're
and I saw
describing
her
the
two-
way you see them, not the duration, like the space between
It's
seeing them.
relative.
Everyone's been
Stop
such a
it.
picky bastard tonight.
Well, see, this goes to the same thing I was going to say earlier.
We need
like,
podcast vinegar.
like Becca's on the ground 5 feet away from Gavin. Is she upside down?
No.
Is she standing at a different angle than you?
She's lower.
Well, I mean, probably by 0.00 something degrees.
Exactly, but on a relative
if I
scale, no, she's
turn-
not.
If I turn this the same amount of degrees away from this one, not upside down.
All I'm saying is, if you take Becca and you move her away from you, does she become upside down?
Is she being affected by the gravity of the Earth?
Does she become upside down as you move her away? As she moves away from you, if she just walks in a straight line, you're in the same orientation on a curved surface. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making.
I'm melting in my seat.
Okay, I'm done. This is my running thing that I have with all of you now. It's going on too long. Is this relative discussion of
Relative club.
Pizza's much more delicious than,
Upside down
than
club.
relativity.
What I want to know
People
is,
can relate to pizza.
can
it's
you
relative.
sense that you're upside down?
I don't want to go back into that. I don't want to open that
Relative
can
to
of
other
worms. I
people,
love you
can you
all.
sense that?
Gus looks like a wolf man. So I just want to point out to the people who are in Australia right now, Michael and Lindsay in Australia, they were just in Sydney. They are on their way to Perth to have a great time with all of you people in Perth. But I understand that Australia did not live up to its previous reputation. They brought a lot of fan art to the booth. They didn't bring a lot of booze, Gus.
Oh.
And the booze is what got us, Gavin, through our trip.
That got us in with everyone.
It totally
Like, we
did.
arrive, everyone's like, who's these chumps? We come back with like 20 bottles of booze and they're like, oh, who are you guys?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Monty,
liquor club.
Monty and I had that problem where we weren't getting any booze, and we showed up a day late to the convention because our plane got delayed. So like we showed up a day late, and we felt like awkward people who didn't meet anybody else. So
I had
we kind of just sat in the corner the whole time.
I had such a good time in Australia.
That was a good time.
Apart from my genitals whacking into a toilet. It was
I even
great.
had a great time during that. I thought the whole trip was great.
Michael Lindsay, there were some cool people. I think they're there with Jamie Lannister.
Get out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
Schmorgenheckendorf?
Stan Lee's walking around as well. Apparently, the two biggest lines are Stan Lee and Rooster Teeth.
Get in the motherfuck out. Stan Lee went down to Australia.
Wow.
That dude is 91.
Is he really?
He really is.
What age are you not allowed to fly anymore?
I don't know, but that's that's amazing that
He's
Stan
on
Lee
his like
traveled down to Australia.
150th trimester at this point.
He, would you give him your bench if you had the opportunity?
Would you notice him?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's crazy. 91, I think, is how old Stan Lee is, and he
Alright.
he went down there.
I would see him
Chill.
every Comic-Con. It was anytime I'd go to San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I wouldn't necessarily, wait in line to see him. Just like walking through Comic-Con, I would
Yeah, you just kinda see him.
always see him. Be like, oh, there's Stan Lee again.
Every time I've gone to Comic-Con, I see Adam West. He has a booth called Adam West Enterprises. Nobody's ever there. He's
That's
just
a shame.
Yeah, it's really sad to see
He's
him.
still relevant though.
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, he's on like Family Guy, and
Yeah, they still make that show, right?
I think
Yeah.
I turned on my TV and it was on.
Did anyone see that Million Ways to Die in the West movie?
No.
I think according to
No.
Box Office Mojo, nobody watched that.
Is that true?
The trailers
It-
look pretty
it
good.
got-
People really like Ted, though,
I don't know
right?
anything
Like, people
about it.
liked
Yeah,
Ted.
it did pretty poorly. at
It
the box
might be
office.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it a Ted sequel?
It might be a home video kind of movie.
Seth MacFarlane movie.
I don't know.
That
anything about
guy's
it.
got the most like erratic career. Like he'll go from like, Family Guy being canceled to becoming one of the most popular, longest running shows on television. Then he makes Ted. Then he makes.
He also has other animated shows on Fox. He's got like 3 animated shows
Yeah.
on Fox.
Well,
a host of the Oscars.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
produced Cosmos.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Guy's all over the place. It's crazy.
He's a
Crazy.
busy guy. Here, let
By
me-
the way, Stan Lee was born in 1922.
holy
91 years old.
what does that say? I can't read it.
Did he fight in the war?
Million Ways to Die in the West has
What were
grossed
all of them?
$37 million so far.
What was the budget on it? Not applicable. That's applicable.
dude.
Man alive.
Stanley was our age during World War II.
That's crazy.
Stanley was your age during World War II.
So he probably fought.
I can look it up and see.
Fuck.
It probably,
most
it's got on
people did.
Wikipedia.
Look
Maybe
it up.
that's where he got
Let
the
me-
inspiration
let-
for
let me
Captain
read
America.
this before you say that, Bernie.
Nope.
Want to remind everyone, this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by...
I have never played World of Tanks, ever.
It's fun.
I need to play it.
I
Gus
think-
and I used to play a game called World War II Online, and we had a fucking blast doing
Was
it.
The
Stan Lee
problem
in
with
it?
World War II Online, when we played it specifically, was that the armor for the tanks was not modeled correctly.
That is correct.
You had to know, depending on the tank you were in...
Right.
The
if-
weak points.
Well, the
Right, like
hitbox was
there,
off.
there were some tanks where the polygon for the armor on the bottom didn't actually provide any armor. So if you shot those tanks on the bottom, you knew you could kill everyone in it.
The
because
tread is the weak point.
the shell would just go through that polygon into the tank and kill all the crew members.
Nice.
World of Tanks does not have that problem. It's very realistically simulated.
I
very
cannot
polished.
believe that I have not played World of Tanks yet. I will play tonight.
So I
360 now,
I
right?
told this story on the patch last week when we talked about it. But when I first started playing, I thought I was the best player in the world because I won like 3 or 4 games in a row. And then I realized I was just like in the new player hopper. It's like I'm playing against other people who were just played for the first time. Then I graduated.
Well, you're still at the same skill level.
Yeah, that was definitely better than all the other new players. There it is. It's a fun game, man. You really gotta work as a team.
Is it like a tank simulator? Or is it more like more arcadey?
It's like a third-person view, right?
It's,
Like a
it's a
third tank view.
third person. It's kind of a hybrid between the two. It's
Okay.
like you can have components and systems in your tank damage, which will affect the performance, but it's not like super simulator where you have to like shift gears to, drive the thing.
Sorry, I asked.
Oh, what? I'm fucking talking about the game.
You know what would be a hard game to play? Is a second-person view game where you can only see your character from the view of other players.
Is that what the second person is?
I guess so, because that's like first person is me, second person is you.
I didn't know I was the second person.
No,
I thought I was the
third
first the whole.
It's relative. You're your first person.
I didn't know I was the second person.
in relation to you, everything's relative to other things.
We've lost Burnie this
whole time.
Is there an Australia person?
He's upside down. The controls are inverted.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Gavin. I love you so much. I didn't know I was the second person.
Are there any games like that where you play from a second person perspective?
It'd be interesting to have a game where it's a first person view
Oh my God.
of someone you're not controlling, and you're controlling them through their first person view, which is second view.
Wait,
Yeah, that's what
wait.
he's talking about. Yeah, just like
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be
What the hell did
through
you just-
somebody else's eyes.
It would be like
it would have to be for second person.
and like your character would be around
just
the
seem
corner.
like it. Doesn't
It'd
have
be
to
like
be
playing as
another
a zombie in Resident Evil all the time. Like you can't see yourself, you're not on screen. You have to like get in their field of view to play.
You're just behind someone like banging into a door, and you're like, "Oh, I'm coming this way." So what's the fourth person?
I don't know if there is a
I don't
fourth
think
person.
it's like the fourth dimension.
Top
it's like
down?
everywhere.
No, I don't think there is. I think it's all like
I think
taken
that's
from like the
1D.
grammatical first person and grammatical third
Yeah.
person. So it's like that's where they take the view from cameras for. Like first person.
I wish they would just name it POV shooter.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
What you're saying actually makes way more sense.
Yeah, first person shooter.
It
Yeah.
gets confusing also because like
That
when you
means
deal
like-
with video games, you also deal with frame rates and frames per second. So it's like FPS. What are you talking about?
I want to.
Yeah,
I want to make a game called First Person Shooter where you walk into a room and you just shoot the first person and game over. Credits roll.
And it'd be great if
win.
that had a third person camera. This is a fucking
Just a-
ripoff.
just to fucking stick it to them.
Someone make that an iPhone game. I'll
No,
buy it.
that would be like DLC. Like the expansion pack is the third person view. You
How
buy the
much would you
retail
pay
game.
for that dumb joke.
And then this, I'd pay $2 for that.
Like the game is like it randomizes a room. You walk into a building, you shoot the first person you see that you win.
Yeah. And then level 2 would be the third person. You just there's 3 dudes in a room. Pick off the guy on the right.
They get more challenging. There's
Although-
like 5 people.
But in China, it'd be on the left, right? Because they
Second person shooter, you got to shoot Gavin.
And that's like the secret bonus level you unlock.
yeah, the
Just
second person
Gavin.
shooter.
Did you see that there was a I don't know if anybody else saw this. There was a profile in the Wall Street Journal of PewDiePie today.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see. I guess
We were in the Wall Street Journal, weren't we?
Yeah, that's what
cover.
I thought. Congratulations, welcome
Yeah.
to 10 years ago.
Might have been longer now.
Welcome to my
Longer than that.
16th birthday.
Welcome
I
to
think-
10 years ago in the front page. Oh, you didn't make the front page? Cool.
Wow.
But he talked about how important he is to YouTube.
How important he is to
Oh, yeah?
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if it's like something that's lost in translation, but like, or just
It-
like
it could
something
be-
that
it
a
could be
quote that was
biased
taken out of
reporting.
context.
Yeah.
But it was
That's when you need one of
It's
those cards,
interesting.
one of those shut the fuck up cards to hand somebody. Just like, you're talking too much, just shut
So
up.
if he makes
You
$4
have
million a year, how is that? It's less than a drop in the ocean to YouTube. They could delete him and nobody would care.
that's why I say like even he's got to recognize that that's not the case. It must be like
How much
a
does he think YouTube
misquote.
makes in a year? 10 million?
It's got to be a misquote or like a mistranslation.
The fuck is in his hair in that photo? Is his hair all blue and yellow? Oh, he has
it's flowers.
flowers in his hair.
He's an irritating.
He lives in the UK apparently.
You're not a
I
fan,
think
are
he
you?
lives in Bristol.
Oh, here we go. Here's the shut. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just stop talking, please, for the love of God. Just be silent and say nothing else. So you can say, hey, Jordan, here, check this out. Like real quietly. And you get one of those cards like, oh shit, I'm just saying this.
Is that an official Rooster Teeth card?
Yeah, okay.
No, fans made it for us from the podcast when I said I just wanted to move cards.
Was that on
Podcast 151?
Yeah. I was trying to shut up.
Did anyone see Battlefield? Or Battleship? What was it called? Damn it.
Battleship.
Is that the movie with Rihanna?
There's probably a movie called Battlefield. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, why?
I always heard that Peter Berg, the guy that made Battleship, agreed to make Battleship just so we could make that movie Lone Survivor.
What?
Really?
That's what I heard.
How did they trick Liam Neeson to be in it?
I don't know. Into Battleship?
Yeah.
Oh, we pay him a lot of money.
He was also in The Grey.
Nice trick.
Yeah.
Grey's a good movie. Oh, don't you do it to me.
Are you serious? Was that 151?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
Battleship and The Grey.
Battleship was not.
He let us into it. He let us into it.
Oh.
He let us into the
That's
Battleship
what-
discussion.
I was wondering why.
Yeah, I was like, what
Why
is
you
it?
brought
Why
that
is he
up?
bringing up a 3-year-old movie?
That's why I asked you. I was like, why?
Fucker.
And you're like, oh. Like,
I was trying to do it when we were talking about 30, The Million Ways to Die in the West. I was going to be like, speaking of crappy movies,
Yeah, nice segue.
I missed the opportunity, so I
Is
brought
this
it
what
back.
you're doing over there now with your fucking time? Is doing that? Hey, what's up with your American shoes?
Yeah, what's the deal?
Oh, I needed new shoes, and I bought these.
Did you?
You didn't
Yeah.
get some brown
was that the
ones?
only shoe they had?
No.
I've been putting off getting new shoes for
I actually
fucking
went out of my
ever.
way to find these shoes.
New shoes and a haircut I've been putting off forever.
Me too.
I don't know what the story with that is.
We should make a club.
Yeah, let's do it. We can all go not get haircuts together. I'll be in that club.
Yeah.
Let's go not do something together.
Is this the first time
gotta
that
have a
a
meeting.
link dump to another podcast will be in the link dump to a podcast?
I'm sure
Fucking
it's
I
copy
think
happening.
it's the
paste
first
it.
time they'll be identical.
Just copy paste it, man.
Making it easy for Patrick.
You're gonna nest
What-
it.
we-
What are you thinking now? You're gonna in 100 podcasts. You're gonna talk about our discussion on this podcast, or we talked about another podcast.
It could be like Primer, where I just have the old podcast playing in my ear, and I'm just like going through the motions of that conversation. And
Yeah,
just-
so
it's-
Stan Lee was born 1922, and his wife Joan Lee was. Oh, they were married in 1947.
Ah.
I got to look her up and see when she was.
So did he fight in the war? Did
Yeah,
it
did
say
he?
that?
Oh, I didn't check. Let me find out.
Did you take
Was
my
he a
phone?
super
Yeah, I
soldier?
did. It's over there. I'm not going to touch it. You can see it. I'm not going to mess with it. But you stop looking
What
at
a
it.
fucking badass Stan Lee is, dude. Collaboration with several artists. Dude made fucking Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Thor, X-Men. Crazy.
Yeah,
All
these
right,
are,
let's see.
Is he responsible?
He made a multi-billion-dollar industry, essentially.
That's the equivalent of like if all of the crap that I've created at Achievement Hunter, if they all went on to be billion-dollar, like if Mark Nutt became.
If it was like a summer blockbuster movie, it's like, I can't wait for Mark Nutt 2. Did you see his cameo at the end of the Avengers? Awesome.
He made a sweet appearance in X-Ray and Vav.
Yeah,
That's even better.
I can't believe Peter Berg cast Liam Neeson in the Tower of Pimps movie. All right. Lee entered the United States Army in early 1942 and served stateside in the Signal Corps, repairing telegraph poles and other communications equipment. He was later transferred to the Training Film Division, where he worked writing manuals, training films, and slogans, and occasionally cartooning. His military classification, he says, was, quote, playwright. So he did serve, but he served stateside for World War II.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you can probably draw the line from there how that influences what he creates or what he does later in life. Would we not have Stan Lee and the comic book characters we have today if
If it
World War
weren't
II
for
didn't
Hitler.
happen?
Thanks, Hitler.
Yeah, thanks. It's like another thing you can. We have like perpetual enemies for video games and comics now, thanks to World War II. Like how much. It's just mind blowing to me to think that he got classified. Like,
I
what
love
if he had
that
been
picture.
sent overseas and he wasn't working on these films and
I
these
wonder-
cartoons?
Yeah, what if he died?
Like the world would be different in terms of entertainment. Would my life be different?
Sure.
Like, would I be here if Stan Lee wasn't here?
Like that
has
much
he
of an effect?
affected-
Yeah.
Has he affected my life? Like, could my parents have? I don't know. It'd be weird. If you just deleted Stan Lee, it'd be weird to see how different the world was.
It would be significant, I would think.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
if you
I
were
mean,
deleted?
would Marvel
I wouldn't have
Comics had
seen
made
like
it.
9 movies.
If you were deleted, I'd be screwed.
If I was deleted.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be
No
the
one would have
world
called
be-
Gavin 10 years ago in the middle of the night.
The world would be a lot more peaceful, but it'd be different.
What does that mean? You think I'm a
People would
contentious
understand.
figure?
People would understand relativity better.
Shut the fuck up, Jordan. Who needs you?
Jordan,
Love you.
when are you going to draw yourself?
Never.
I want him to. I want him to be in an
To me,
animated
it
adventure.
ruins the illusion.
Jordan's
because
lovely
it's like-
sister came to visit us at the
Shut the
office.
fuck up.
Oh yeah.
What'd I tell you? I didn't talk about that shit.
Did you? Okay. Well, I want to tell a story, so you have to draw your sister. and you have to draw. You have to draw her hot.
I don't think anyone's ever scared
I'll
of
make sound
making
effects too.
Jordan mad. Like, because you're a gentle being.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you, Bernie.
He said you had a problem when you first came to
apart
work
from the time
for
he
us.
walloped me in the nuts.
You would punch him
yeah.
all the time for some reason, and I had to
kicked me
talk
in
to
the-
Jordan about
there's-
hitting Gavin.
No, there was one time where you kind of pissed me off, so I had to put you in your place. But
with your
Here
foot
we
into
go.
my
Yeah.
genitals.
Yeah.
That's not how you put someone
well,
in a
guess
place.
what? You haven't
Here's how I would've
pissed
done
me
it.
off since, have you?
Wow.
Fight.
Fucking
fight,
A.
fight,
That sounded like an
fight,
invitation.
fight.
Hey, can you hand me that opener, please? Not you, Gavin.
There was a while also when Jordan first started here where every day I would scare him and take a picture of him being scared.
Really?
You're really good at
That
that.
sounds awesome. Why'd you stop doing that?
I have a long stream of pictures in my iPhone camera of Jordan just doing this.
It's because I was like sitting out in the open in the dungeon,
You should
and
put
he
them
would
all
like just
together and
creep
watch
up
him
behind me.
age slowly as he
I was just like walking behind
My
him and
hair's
be
getting
like,
grayer.
Hey, Jordan.
So how did I piss you off?
I'm not gonna talk about it.
Do you
That's
remember?
private stuff? Yeah, oh yeah, I do.
Fight.
I don't remember even
What'd you
what it
do?
was.
I'll talk to you about it.
He really? Whoa! No. What's wrong with talking about
I'm
it
not
right
gonna air
now?
my dirty laundry.
So was it on the podcast that I pissed you off?
It was
I'm not
probably
gonna say.
So we can just go and watch what it was.
Was it related to you or was it related to someone else?
Nah, I'm not gonna say.
All right.
I don't answer these
all right,
questions.
all right,
Let's
right.
not let, because you know how people they
So
just
you were
bump
asking
over a
So
conversation.
you were asking
Let's
about
not let it happen.
like
Let's just start making
why
random
haven't I
comments, see which
drawn
one he
myself?
punches
I
us
like to think of like animated adventures as my interpretation of everyone. So it's kind of like
So whenever there's
putting-
a mirror,
I don't like that at all.
putting yourself into it kind of ruins
I
it.
think whenever the camera
I
goes
don't like
past
your
a mirror,
interpretation of me.
there should be Jordan.
Hey, thanks for doing RTA 150.
That was you did a scripted one.
Yeah.
I always love that when you do scripted
As usual.
ones.
I was excited to be all over that. It turns out I wasn't
You
even
had
played
two
by me.
lines. Yep.
I had to do a special cameo because I'm in the beginning of 150 very briefly. I'm the voice of the Panther in that episode, and in order to prepare, like we're in the booth, and Jordan says, "I need you to do a Panther voice." The Panther's going to be
Panther voice.
yeah, the Panther's going to be talking, and we're going to subtitle it. I was like, "What does a Panther sound like?" So I started looking up videos on YouTube of Panthers.
You wanted to be an
There was a
accurate
really weird video.
And there was like
though.
a really weird video where there's a panther behind this really thin fence, and it's like growling at these people. They're like, "Oh, look, the panther's growling at us," and it's literally like as far away as you and I are, Gavin. Like, "Oh, it's so cute," and the panther's just like, rah, like baring its teeth
yeah,
and growling.
it's like gonna kill everyone on the other side
No,
of that
like-
fence.
How are these people still alive?
There's like a
Ugh.
baby in the background.
Yeah,
you can
I
hear.
would be pissing myself
Yeah.
if that was me.
I remember you said while we were recording, you distinguish. I had the distinguishment of having done the stupidest thing. You're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in 11 years. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that. I made you do it, and it was fine. It was perfect. But I took out my phone and I said, one more for safety, and I recorded it. So I have a nice little video of you roaring like a panther in the booth.
There's the panther in the animated adventure. Yeah,
Nice.
So I tried to make noises like the panther in that video.
It wasn't that good.
It was not that close.
It was fine. That sounds like a panther.
It sufficed. For my first performance as a panther ever, I gotta say I was pretty pleased with it. I thought I did an okay job.
Come to think of it, you did draw yourself on the sign. Did
What do
you
you mean?
not?
No, Dustin drew
No,
that.
no, that was Patrick.
Oh,
Patrick
Patrick.
drew that. Yeah.
Oh.
Does not count. And also, it's not an animated adventure, so fuck off.
Have you ever just for a laugh made your own secret animated adventure with you? Like,
Not like a secret episode, but I have drawn myself.
oh, can I see it one day?
Maybe, if you're good.
Let's hack his computer.
You sit there and drawing yourself?
Well, it's
Weird.
like you never know if you need it.
If I
there
could
was
draw,
one-
I would draw
Hey,
myself.
everyone does their
You never
talent to
know.
themselves, don't
There
they?
was one
What
where
do you do? What's your talent that you do?
Well, I mean, film crap in slow mo. I did it to myself. I
But
film
you would
myself in
never
slow-mo.
just. I mean,
He can draw himself.
Yeah.
You can.
Why is that weird?
you can be annoyed by yourself and not hang out with yourself, Gus.
Gus does that a lot. Where he's like, I fucked up. I
Wasn't
don't
even
even
paying
want to.
attention.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was
He can
reading some of
ignore
the-
himself.
I was reading some of the comments here, trying to get caught up, see if there's anything on Twitter.
No, there's not.
You
Probably
wrote
not.
yourself.
What I write?
You wrote about yourself.
Yeah. That seems pretty smug.
What are you talking about?
No, like you've written and then you've played the part.
Yeah, but I wouldn't sit around my house writing about myself. That seemed weird. Like, did you? He
You
didn't-
never write an
He didn't put his thing
autobiography?
out. He didn't put his thing out. It's
Well,
weird
I
if you
just,
don't put it
I
out.
just haven't used it yet. You don't know.
Yeah, no, but then you sat around drawing yourself without needing to, basically.
I did need to.
Like if
But I
would
edited
help-
myself out of the audio, so
Gavin, what'd
I
you do
didn't
last
put
night?
myself in.
Just out of curiosity, what did you do last night?
I built IKEA
You
furniture.
built like here for no. Go ahead and ask me.
What did you do last
I
night?
wrote about myself.
Cool.
That's
What'd you write
weird.
about?
Don't worry about it.
Well-
It's at home. I have a collection of writings about myself.
An
that I just-
autobiography.
Yeah,
would that
that's
be
not weird.
No, I'm not doing
People
that.
do that.
I'm not doing that. I'm just writing about myself in case I ever need
Maybe
it.
you want to like
in the second
explore.
person or in the third person.
Somebody, I sent Patrick an image. I don't know if he's got time to put it up, but somebody already did a mock-up of our game.
A diary would be writing about yourself.
Yeah, I don't. You're trying to explore like your own psyche.
It's not
or
that
something.
weird.
You're trying
and
to
a
learn
diary
about
never
yourself.
comes out because it's your diary.
Fair
unless you're
play.
Anne
You're
Frank.
grasping at straws
Fair
here,
play.
but
A diary is the thing, but drawing yourself seems weird to me. It seems weird to me.
It's,
Your behavior seems
I
odd.
assume it's because you can't draw.
That
Can you draw?
What?
I
Yes.
assume
Drawing is
well,
not a natural
I cannot
activity.
draw either.
I can't draw, and I did it.
You draw better than I do.
Okay.
Okay, but if someone's a sculptor, right? They work with clay and they sculpt things all the time.
People do
What'd you do?
self-portraits.
It's like, I sculpted myself again last
Well,
night.
that's what Gus did. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
I didn't sculpt
People
it.
do
I stood there.
self-portraits. Artists do
He
self-portraits.
paid for a thing of
themselves.
himself.
I don't see.
Yeah.
what
I
you're
don't,
on
don't
about.
use Gus.
What
as
are you
like
on
a-
about?
What are we arguing? We're arguing about nothing. We're arguing about garbage.
It's all relative.
Don't use Gus as a barometer for like a standard for normal behavior. That's not. Don't
That's
do
true.
that.
That's very true.
Gus the lunatic. That's
What
our
is-
first person shooter that somebody mocked up. That's the second person
So
shooter.
in this case, Burnie is the first
Burnie
person,
is the first person.
and Gavin is the second person.
Left to right.
Which is also
well, you're
Burnie's closer. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm upstaging
You know
him.
what the best part about that is?
What?
That's that head from that stupid photo I took of you in the alley where you're flying.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That's out the back of.
Because you look
The
like you're in a
office.
trace. Everybody uses the one where you're in the back alley and you're doing that. The better one is the one in the hallway.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
Because I had to tilt without banging my head and legs on the wall.
And
Yeah.
also, your arm is like hung in a like weird way.
We
It
should
looks
do more of
really
those. I don't know
was
why we
fun.
didn't.
I don't know why we didn't either.
fun. Do one right now.
Should we do a jump freeze frame ending to the podcast?
That'd be awesome.
Are we done jump? There's a jump freeze frame and something else
This is short.
just working
Do-
on.
do we have
no,
the
but I
ability-
referenced the other short. I said we can't do this. 'cause
Do we have the ability to pause on the mixer a frame?
I believe we do, but we've never done it. So
Let's
I bet,
do it.
I bet no one knows how to do it.
Figure it out.
Kara, do it.
Oh, pressure's on. Everyone's freaking out in there.
I
She's
think-
looking around.
Guys, the podcast is about to end suddenly. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Kara's
do
gonna-
not press crazy buttons. Do not accommodate Gavin's
Do it.
crazy demands.
Do it.
You know, there's been stuff we've been wanting to try. Like I've been talking to Gavin about this special effect I want to try.
Time slice.
Yeah, we were gonna. Well, sort of. We're gonna try different stuff like that.
Yeah.
That one. Ever since we got to stage 5, production here has ramped up so freaking much that it's like it's hard to find time to do just like fun experimental stuff.
Yeah.
Like the kick around stuff. We do so much
It's the
stuff
same.
now.
Even within Achievement Hunter, we don't have time to do anything. Like we have so many shows that we have to meet deadlines on. We have no experimentation time.
yeah, which you
It's
gotta,
kind of sad.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that.
Like
So
that's how the short started. Is that you made Ninja Gus that one day, wasn't it?
that's oh, you mean that's how they started? Or I thought you said that's how they died.
So
No, that's how you like started
I
doing.
heard
live
died.
action.
I heard died too.
Yeah, yeah, that's how they started.
Crazy
I didn't say
accent.
died.
I heard started.
There's a lot of times when we talk about stuff and it's like, oh, we should do this or we should do that. And I'm like, I hear it so many times and like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then if I do it, I did that this weekend.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about game kids stuff, about doing stuff with kids and like doing like stuff that kids can watch, like family friendly stuff. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just
It
gonna,
gets to the point where you just gotta just do it instead of planning and talking about it.
right.
Nike.
Yeah, pull the trigger. What does that mean?
Speaking of,
Swish.
just
Oh.
do it. Speaking of,
You're slow today.
Was Ninja Gus in podcast 151? Please
I
tell me.
took
it
his
was.
phone away.
I am. You know, the other part of it too is I've been traveling so much, man. Is that like all last week I was gone? So then it's like,
So you were probably like 12 degrees off from me.
yeah, from in LA, I was at an angle. I was.
You know what
I
Gavin
was
says?
leaning sideways the entire
It's
time.
starting to blow my mind there. People in LA are probably a
People on the
significant-
equator are 90
Yeah.
degrees to you.
Yeah, but LA is a lot closer.
Who's Andy
speaking
Buckley?
Speaking of just doing stuff, we hit the stretch goal in the Indiegogo.
That's. I was going to thank
Oh,
you for
yeah.
bringing it up.
We're gonna be putting out some podcast let's plays.
That's exciting.
Bern and I were kicking around some ideas earlier for games and scenarios. So
Am
I
I
love
still
that.
on Team Podcast?
If we
Yeah,
did
do I
Team,
get to
Team
do
Frenzy.
Gavin,
Team
if
Frenzy.
My
team,
favorite.
the first team ever, Team Frenzy. If we ever
People
did,
don't know that Gus and I are the first team name.
yeah,
Team
the teams
Frenzy.
are
I
yours.
guess apart from Red Team and Blue Team.
My favorite.
Right.
My favorite episode is the
OG
Mass
teams.
Effect 3 one, and you're just like, the bees.
Bees.
Did that one ever come out?
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
We were kicking around some stuff. So we were kicking around lots of ideas. We have an idea for a Minecraft one, but do you think we should do a Minecraft one or stay away from it entirely?
Sounds like a
Why?
ripoff.
Minecraft Let's Play.
It's
Why wouldn't you do a Minecraft Let's Play?
what a cliche.
Yeah.
Get JD in here.
you guys already put them out, you know.
So?
What do you got? Like a 112 now? 113?
151.
151.
107 came out on Friday,
107.
and I just started editing 110. which we
Oh, wow,
filmed.
you're ahead?
We filmed like 3 months ago at this point.
You guys are wrapping up all your heists too.
Yeah, I don't know if did Ray's Heist come out today?
Ray's
Yeah,
came
I
out
think
today.
I
It was
saw
out for sponsors when we started the podcast.
I'm always so excited to I don't have time to watch all of our Let's Plays, but I'm so excited to watch our heists because they're so
gonna do any
dramatic.
more?
Just yes.
because they're all a misery.
Well, they all fail, but just the idea of like once you're done, you're done. It makes everything so tense. And I think
Yeah.
Jack's heist, where he landed the plane in the street
That
and then we
was
took
very
off.
intense.
I don't
Trying to
think
take
my
that plane
heart-
back off again was like clipping buildings.
Yeah.
And
I looked back at the screen with all the waveforms on it right after we took off, and it was just like thick blue bars on every single track. Because we're just like, oh my god!
I remember I was watching it and screaming too. I was like, they're not gonna make it.
Everyone was blue except for Jeff, who died like 2 minutes after.
he died
to go.
walking out of his convenience store. It looked like the door killed him. Is what it looked like.
And he was so shocked by it as well that he was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, he was like, oh god damn. No, I guess I
That's
gotta
so
stop.
much fun. I just
Yeah.
wish we had behind the scenes footage of that. It's really good.
Oh,
We
you
don't
mean
really
like
do-
in the room stuff.
We don't really do behind the scenes anymore because of the layout
You
of
have
the room.
like 3 people who aren't in the Let's Plays who just.
Or why
They're
don't
all
you just
editing the
set
stuff
up cameras up in the corners pointed down at the room,
Yeah, I mean,
and you could just like hit record on those as well.
it's doable.
Someone's got to push a button.
If it was
I
all
don't
set
know.
up, we would absolutely use it. But I don't think everyone wants to see our faces while we play games. Like we're not really
It's always
keen
a big
on
debate on those Let's Plays. Is faces.
like face cam. Yeah,
Yeah.
People like seeing faces, but most of the time it's just like
I don't
Yeah,
like. Ugh.
I don't want to see my face while I'm playing
Ugh.
games. I'm at my mouth doing all weird stuff.
that's why I experimented when we did the podcast Let's Plays with the little portraits,
That was
And-
good. I thought that
and
was
it would
good.
illuminate.
Yeah.
I don't know that it worked quite well. Maybe animated GIFs next time.
Who
It's
has
what
the
it
most?
should be. It's like a Doom head, like your health.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Who has the most distinct
Oh, yeah.
gaming face that you know?
gaming face.
Gaming face. Anybody you know?
I don't even know
that
what that
makes,
means.
Like as they make faces while they game, or
Yeah, just like weird.
I know
like-
who it is.
Who?
Jeff. He gets the controller
Oh
upside
yeah.
down back like this.
He does the same thing I do.
And he,
Where
like, moves around.
breathes in that hole that's in
Yeah.
the middle. Like it's like there's this weird like some kind of gas that's in the middle of those things. It's like it enhances your gaming. Ashley, when she plays a game, lovely girl. Whenever she plays a game, she does this. It's like the most serious, frowny face. It's like it looks like she's absolutely miserable playing game. She makes the same face when she reads too, like that. In fact, there was a meme of Ashley.
Imagine them reading a really sad book.
There was a meme of Ashley when she was a frag doll, and it was a girl gaming meme. Like it was really kind of sexist, where it was like girl gamers, and it's a picture of Ashley playing on one of those like demotivational poster style things. It says some people take Farmville really really seriously because she has like a headset on and she's playing, and she doesn't have the face in that. She's got like a touch of it, but she goes, I knew they were taking the picture. I could see the person because they were in my frame of vision.
Who
So-
made that game?
Farmville?
Yeah.
Zynga?
Yeah.
That's how Zynga got started, I think. Or
It
at
was
least how
written
they-
about in Forbes, right, or something. Forbes.
What about it?
Oh,
Oh
are you
shit!
go-
Fuck off, dude.
It's not even good when you're trying.
You
it now.
motherfucker.
All right, well, we need to start wrapping up.
I'm
here.
not slow. I just like I'm trying to have a fucking conversation with you.
We
If I
didn't talk
second
about the
guessed
World Cup.
everything you say. Fucking.
We do. I
jackass.
talked about the World Cup like 2 or
We
3
can
times.
talk about it more. I mean, I've watched every game.
So when are we
every
putting
World
out?
Cup?
When are we going to put out our
What's been your-
first Let's Play?
Oh, okay.
We're
Let's talk about something else.
gonna film it hopefully this week. I haven't looked at the calendar to figure it out, but I think the Indiegogo said July deliveries, so we'll put them out in July.
What are we playing?
I'm not gonna say yet. We're still developing a
Who's
plan.
this we, Gavin?
I want to be on the team.
I
Team
do too.
Frenzy.
We gotta have a
I
Team
do-
Frenzy
I do too.
reunion.
Because
Gets
Mike
reunited.
is away, we're not filming very much this week.
Oh yeah.
I'll make hats, so you can
Hats.
replace your stupid Los
Hey,
Santos
you
hat.
should do like a Play Pals or something while he's in Australia, and then his screen can be upside down.
We
You
did one.
should rotate it the appropriate number of degrees. That's like 172 degrees or something.
Guys
Not
get
quite.
A lot of fucking mileage out of that joke, dude.
Yeah, we will.
You know us.
Fucking hammering on it.
All right.
That'll work.
Anything else? We're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I think we squash
I'm
every.
not. I'm done.
No, we talked about the World Cup.
I'm
All
done.
right,
I think I might be done.
World Cup.
What do you mean?
I think this might be done for a while.
What do you mean?
The podcast.
No, don't do that. I'm
But,
sorry.
I mean, it's
You're
just
not
like
impressed about it.
no. I just
Burnie.
like repeating that much stuff on a podcast is a lot. I mean, it's just like I don't know what to say. I just I
It's like
feel
saying I'm not going to say any more words.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. I'm taking my fucking confused, bad at math brain. I'm going home.
Do you think that's what
Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the patch on Wednesday and another episode of podcast
most
next Monday.
depressing end to a
Bye,
podcast
everybody.
ever?
Nah.
Wave. Okay, we'll wave. She's not gonna cut away unless we wave.
I scratched my forehead.
What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
Knobs. 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 Knobs.
That is top.
Knobs. Knobs.